Alright guys, so this is supposed to be day 3, but it's kind of look like day 1 now. So, which is okay, whenever everyone's on the same page and we start. That's the most important thing is the career talk itself. So we were just having introductions, we had that. Now, then there's something that I always say at the start of the class is like, are you the easygoing type? It's your choice either to be lazy and simply attend the class, nod to the instructor, pretending you understand everything he said, go home and watch, okay, ignore that, and stay being too busy to have time to study. So, I understand you're busy. Everyone's busy in Canada, right? Everyone's busy. But the thing is, we came here with a commitment and we need to really fulfill that commitment, right? And that is to learn networks, learn all the topics, ultimately to get a job. So every course has to be job oriented. So that's my approach to the course, because you need a job, a good job to pay your bills, right? And make a good future of your career. So you really need to learn the way you want to implement there in the job environment, right? So that's the way we're going to learn there. And about me as well, my name is Amir Shahzad, and I've been, I started my career as a desktop admin in a university, and then I was promoted to system administrator there in the university. 10 years I worked there, and then I came to Canada here 7 years ago, and I was for 5 years I was in Scotiabank as a system administrator there. It was a big environment. It's a bank, so it's a global bank actually, with the 85,000 users there. So there was a lot of servers side, system administration side I get to do. Then I kept on doing some contracts as well, short contracts. I was doing teaching on the weekends and the job on the weekdays. Then I flipped it because teaching is my passion. So now I do teaching throughout the week and on weekends as well. And if I get a contract, whenever I get a contract which suits me, then I do the contracts as well. That remotely connect to any job and or a company and do some whatever they ask me to do. So I teach in Georgetown College in downtown. I taught in several other colleges in GTA, in Humber College as well, and now I'm teaching here in Netflix College permanently, and in Georgetown College it's winter and fall, and Lawrence College affiliate there also I teach. So so it's a number of college, and that's my passion to introduce technology. I've introduced some new latest courses here, and I will go for more latest technology, whichever's in the market. So you could get a job easier, right? Earlier. The main emphasis to get a good job, you know. So are you the active and hardworking type here? Try to understand what instructor is saying. Let me know if I'm going fast. You can slow me down. I'm gonna go slow first. And so not shy of asking simple and easy questions. Work on your home lab and SMS me, email me with screenshots, or call me if you are stuck. Ignore that. I wish that was true. $20 per minute. Huh. Okay. Works on hands-on labs, minimum 2 hours daily. Right. So well, this is a recommendation, but you really need to work hard now, right? So there will be smaller labs. We're gonna start slow and small, then we're gonna go complicated. So we will be implementing a lot of complicated labs as well, and failover clustering, 4 machines required there, and we have to do disaster recovery of that. We're going to crash one server, and we're going to prove that, hey, failover clustering totally works fine. So in the job environment, they are really looking for those who can do disaster recovery and high availability features, who know that. So we're going to go for complicated labs here. The main thing is, do you understand what we are doing, what you are doing, right? If you don't understand, you are totally wasting your time here, right? So doing the lab, click, 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 click. Yay, I did that lab. And what was the purpose of the lab? I don't know. So any 10-year-old can do that, right? That click, click, click. So I'm going to do that click, click, click here. And I'm going to tell you how to configure that. So if you are doing that click, click, click without understanding, then it's of no use. You can go home and watch Netflix or anything, or just go to some other course that you really understand, right? So the thing is, you need to understand this is good for you. I can just ignore that, right? And I can, oh, this is a lab, this is a lab, this is a lab. Okay, done, bye. That's it. I can do that, but I have to follow up with you. I have to make sure you understand what is going on here. I'm going to cross question you, right? So it is my job to make you understand what's going on, what we're doing on the board, and what topics really mean and what you need to do if IT is your career. Now, Brian did a good job with some of the students here previously that you must have a good hardware. If you want to stay in the IT field, you must have a good hardware first, right? So I can see four of the students, five of a few already have a laptop with i7 quad-core processor, 32 GB RAM, better 64, but 32 is good enough for all the courses here. If you have 250 GB SSD, solid state drive, it's okay, but better go for 500 GB SSD. And you can have a desktop or computer or a laptop at home as well, or server. Search for used ones on Kijiji or used computer suppliers, or I can tell you as well. There's a shop here, and I think you guys have bought all from here, right? The computers from Netless shop, right? So those who didn't buy that, if you plan to do that, and if you really want to stay in the IT field and get some jobs with 35 per hour, 40 per hour, 25 per hour, 30 per hour. So you really need to have a good laptop or a good hardware at home. It's not compulsory that you have a laptop, you can have a desktop as well, right? Then key to success is dedication. So some of the students, so it's not myth I'm talking about, it's happening right now. I'm teaching in other colleges as well, and what's happening is that for 6 months, 7 months, totally new beginners to IT are getting good jobs, 30 per hour, 25 per hour, 35 per hour jobs. But they really worked hard for that. And I was amazed because they still had to meet expenses. They were doing some other job, then they were studying in the morning in the class, they were doing the lab, then some other job, and family, as well as certification. So 5 or 6 things they were managing their time. Wherever they were doing the job, they were just having tablet with them, and they were just looking at the questions for the certifications, or they were just going through the lab that we did on the YouTube, right? They were just looking at the video. So everything is possible. People are breaking records here, and they are really working hard, and some of them are really getting a good job as well, right? So it's happening right now. It's all about materials there. What is the plan? I'm telling you the plan here, but are you really into working hard, right? Right now, you really have to be toughen up. You have to really work hard now. Certifications you have to give. How many certifications and which certifications? Recommendation is coming now, and also that you have to really do all the labs, repeat all the labs, and you must know that what are the job requirements in the market, right? So what are the courses that should be in the market, and what are you doing here, right? Suppose you're doing some old courses here, and that is not in even or their newer versions are in the market as a demand. So of course then you'll be scratching your head, I wasted my 6 months here, right? Or 8 months or 1 year. So that's why I'm just gonna do a career talk first. And yes, I also said that I need your Gmail, so I hope everyone has sent me a Gmail. You will be then sending me the Gmail as well, but I'm going to tell you. You can just I'll create an account for you as well, right? So here, some of the things that I just wanted to discuss before, because now everyone is here. So this looks like the day one of our class looks like. So there's a lot of Microsoft is expecting from us as we prepared 70-740. So we're going for MCSA right now, and it has 3 exams, right? So it is very important in the market, and there are a lot of companies, huge amount of companies, the majority of the companies have Microsoft Network there. So there's a long list of topics to cover, and we will try to do hands-on labs on majority of them or nearly all of them. But we select to do hands-on labs for those topics which are also helpful in everyday admin responsibilities. Could be important for interviews and for consultants. So I'm going to try to prepare you for interviews as well. So I'm going to throw questions at you because I was in Scotiabank for 5 years. I used to take interviews of other, who were joining our environment. Back home when I was in university as a system administrator, there also I was taking interviews. So in the first 10 minutes, we kind of get an idea this is not the person we need. Or, yes, this is the guy we need. If this is not the person we need, the rest of the 45 minutes is like pastime. So the person who's getting interviewed would never know that we don't need it. But it's the interview going on. That's it. So we cannot just cut short the interview right away in 10 minutes, right? So we have to show that, okay, we really understood that guy, and then we're saying no. Otherwise, in first 10 minutes, the way you talk, the way your confidence is, we'll know right away that no. Because we know that we have invested, or the company has invested $100,000, $500,000 on those servers, those equipment, and we need a really confident, sharp person there to handle that equipment, right? So I'm gonna try to throw some questions at you, and then I'm gonna ask you as well. Hey, think that you're giving me an interview, and answer me that way, right? So it's good for you that you prepare for interview, because many IT people, they just confuse an interview, and whatever they thought was also gone from their mind when they're giving interview. They're so tense at that time. Anyway, so the main thing is every course must be job oriented. So because we're going to be going for a job, right? So you must learn that way. You must work hard that way, because we're gonna get a job, right? So it's not about marks. It's not about exams. It's not about, oh, just complete the lab and that's it, gone from here, and let's think what to do next. So if you have the prize in your mind, then you will really work hard for that, right? So here we are on our way to become MCSA 2016, and that's the first one, 70-740. That's what we're doing: installation, storage, and compute with Windows Server 2016. 7-741, that would be the next one, networking with Windows Server 2016. And then third one is 7-742, identity with Windows Server 2016. So that's a lot of topics there that we need to implement and understand, and many of those are implemented in government offices, in banks, in insurance companies, in hospitals. So those all topics, how do we implement that in our environment, and how they're implemented in the production environment, in the offices, we're going to understand all that, right? Then again and again, I ask you that please keep your eyes on the recruiter sites, job recruiter sites, right? So there's Indeed.com, Monster.ca, Glassdoor.ca. There are many others. There are dozen others as well. So the thing is that what you're doing here is that in demand in the market. So just put MCSA and put Scarborough. So you would know that how many jobs are in Scarborough. MCSA and put Mississauga. MCSA and put Toronto there. So do you have all those? Is there a demand for MCSA 2016? Right? MCSA 2012. Is there a demand? MCITP. The 2008, right? So you should go to Indeed.com, Monster.ca. Ultimately, you're going to put your resume up there, and you have to be you have to be careful. And I'm going to tell you as well that what to do. If you don't have any IT experience before, do all the certifications in this 6 months, all the advanced courses certifications, but only show the basic certifications to get a basic job, right? Level 1 job. So go for just the basic certifications of A+. You must do A+, because in the market A+ is in big demand, right? And CCNA, that's a must-have. So you must go for CCNA as well, right? If you're MCSA, A+ and CCNA, you're good for level 1 and most probably level 2 jobs as well. Level 1 would be like 19, 18 per hour up to 25 per hour. And in good companies, big companies, they even go a bit more than that. Level 2 then is 25, 35 per hour, right? So those are the jobs that you would be looking for. Just keep your eyes on the prize, and that is like 35 per hour. I need to get that job, right? So you're going to work harder than that way. But if you didn't have any experience before, then go for first base level 1 IT job, then go for level 2, level 3, right? So but do all the certifications of level 2, level 3 before, but don't show them in the resume when you're applying for level 1 job, because if you're overqualified, that's a big problem as well, right? So the boss who's going to hire you, he or she will think that, hey, I haven't done VMware, and he or she's done VMware, so she's going to replace me, or he's going to replace me, so I'm not hiring him or her, right? So don't be overqualified as well. So put your resume in a smart way, right? So throughout the courses, we're going to talk about that as well. How do we put that resume? Resume creation at the end of the course when you're ready. So, but keep an eye on the courses that you will be doing, and on the recruiter sites, that are you on the right track? Are there any demands for these courses that I'm doing in the market? So you will see that there's a lot of demand, and I am continuously pushing for new courses here, especially the cloud courses there, that are people are getting good or better jobs there with the cloud courses. But what is cloud? We're going to talk about that. And so there are so many certifications. Then what set of certs should I go for in order to apply for a systems administration job ranging from 25 per hour up to, well, we can think about it, 80 per hour. It's like, it's not, it's rare. But anyway, 25 per hour, 30, 40, 50 per hour, people are earning that right now. So some of the must-haves and some of the good-to-have certifications are here, right? So the must-haves, first of all, is MCSA that you're doing right now, MCSA 2016 or MCSA 2012, whichever you have. It's good in the market right now. So you're going to do that anyway. Then there is Exchange Server. So it is all about emails for the company going in and out. So but the must-have would be Office 365. Now that's very, very important. You can get even a level 1 job with that. If you have no experience, still with Office 365 knowledge, you can have a good job there. Well, you can have a job in IT, basically. So my recommendation is MCS 2016 must have. Office 365 is a must have as well. And Office 365 is not about MS Office. It's not about Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Access. It's not that. Maybe we use that a lot, right? Office 365. Well, MS Office. Office 365 is level 2 and level 3 related tasks. It is Exchange Server, SharePoint Server, Sky for Business, and Azure Active Directory. It is 4 different difficult. There are separate exams for these 4 technologies. There are separate exams for them, but they're all built into Office 365. So my recommendation is you must do that course, Office 365, and it's in the demand. Just put Office 365 in Indeed.com and put Scarborough there, or just put GTA there or Toronto. You will find a lot of jobs there for Office 365. Then there is System Center Configuration Manager, or SCCM. Now that's good to have. It's advanced skill. You can deploy from one server any software or any image across 10,000 machines, thousands of machines. You can deploy anything just sitting on one server. So banks are really in need of those guys who have these skills. System Center Configuration Manager. Governments are in need for those guys who have these skills. And then so it's good to have. After you have done must-have certifications, you can go for good to have advanced certifications, right? So now first must-have is MCSA 2016. Second must-have is Office 365. Third must-have is VCP, VMware. So this is a must-have, and you're in luck here because this academy, this college is also VMware's authorized academy. So many of the other colleges where students went there, they didn't know that that was not a VMware authorized academy. This is a VMware authorized, so you're in luck now. So this means that you're going to get a 70% discount voucher when you're doing the VMware course. And there are 2 exams you need to give, and both are discounted 70%. So 70% discount voucher would be, the $250 exam would be $70, and $120 exam would be $35. But that it's one thing is that it is authorized academy, but the thing, 80% of the market, the companies have VMware. They're using VMware. So in any interview you're going, most likely they will have VMware platform there. So we're going to do VMware as well, right? This may not be in your contract. If it's not, we're going to put it there. So you can just, in the contract, what you did with the college, maybe there are a list of courses there. We can change them, right? So if you're doing MCSE, that is 5 papers, 5 exams. So remove 2 exams from there. MCSA, go for MCSA, and that's good enough to say that, hey, I'm Microsoft expert. It's okay. MCSA is in demand. MCS is also okay, but instead, because you should have a lot of experience if you're going for MCSE, because majority of us don't have a lot of experience, so you can go for 3 MCSA exam and 1 Office 65 course, and other one is actually Citrix course, right? So, but VMware will be coming to you anyway. So this is a must-have. Third must-have. First must-have MCSA. Second Office 365. Third is VMware. That's also a must-have. Don't leave the college without this course, VMware, right? Then there is ITIL. Citrix is there. It's also good to have. It's an advanced course. And the thing is that majority of the big companies, medium to large size companies, 5,000 users up to 200,000 users, they will all have Citrix already there. So you should know Citrix. What is Citrix, right? ITIL, it's good to have. It's actually must have and good to have both, actually, because if you are not ITIL, this is a theory exam. This is how to manage your IT department, right? How to manage your IT department. So it's a change management, how to document your changes in IT. So it's good to do it. If you don't do it, the company will make you do it anyway. So it's better to do it, right? CCNA is a must-have. Suppose you're going for system administration side. System administration side, there's a networking side. Networking is CCNA, CCNP, CCIE, right? And Palo Alto and Collab, their collaboration exam. But system administration side is Microsoft, VMware, Citrix, SCCM, all these sites here. So all these certifications here. So I am from the system administration background. Musaddiq and Mazarik are from networking background, right? So look at your aptitude, whichever you like, whichever task you love to do. If you're doing a lot of tasks here and you love to do that, and you're with Cisco, it's oh man, it's like really, what's the IP, what's the subnetting, what's that? So if you don't like that, then go for system administration side. Go for more courses there on system administration side, right? There's a less maths here. But subnetting is something that you need to understand. Subnetting, right? Subnetting is something you have to understand. So so CCNA, if you're just going for system administration side, you must do CCNA at least. CCNA, without CCNA also your courses are not complete. You're not an IT person if you don't have CCNA. If you don't know how switches work, switches are in every company. You can't live without switches and routers. So you must know how they work inside, right? So the Cisco, those guys are best in Cisco already. RSCSA, this is another operating system. So there are two operating systems that you need to worry about. Either you become an expert in Microsoft Windows operating system, or you become an expert in Linux operating systems, or both. If you're good enough, go for both. Linux and Microsoft. Linux is also a lot in the industry. There are so many jobs I've seen that they're asking, oh, we have Microsoft operating system, Linux operating system, and then networks, and then Office 365, we have VMware, we have Windows environment. So if you want to go for RSCSA, that's also good to have. But any one of the operating systems, be an expert in Microsoft or Linux, better both, right? So it's your own effort now, right? It's your own effort. So then, now this is kind of new. It's no longer new now, but it is newer than others, the cloud. So this is a must-have. You must do either Microsoft's cloud course or Amazon's cloud course. Now, what is cloud? Somebody else's data center. That's it. But all the companies are now going to cloud. They will expect you to know cloud. So we're going to do one cloud course as well, right? Although Office 365 has, all the these. So everyone here is, a full-time student, or anyone paying from your pocket? Full-time student, right? Full-time. So full-time students normally don't have cloud course with them. So I was pushing the college to put a cloud course there. So I pushed the college to put Office 365 and Citrix there instead of the full MCSE. With Office 365, if you all agree that you go this way, then I'm gonna put one of the cloud courses from my side, right? You must learn that before you leave the college. Otherwise, this is one of the latest ones. So if you don't know the latest ones, you might not have good chances of a job sooner. You might get jobs sooner if you're smart and you work hard and you have all the latest certifications, right? So this is the plan. You can take a picture of that. You can, I'm going to send that slide as well anyway. So the thing is, must have fives. You must do MCC 2016. Office 365 is a must have. VMware is a must have. CCNA is a must have. So there are two musts now, right? And cloud is a must have. So three of them from must haves are must have. So you can understand how important they are. So you're going to really work hard on each and every course of that. So this means all these, not all, many students went for all certifications. But the must-haves and must-haves, you must have all those certifications. So this means that there are 7 certifications waiting for you. So 3 certifications from MCSA, 3, not 5, 3, right? There are 2 certifications from Office 365, but go for 1, 347. that is day-to-day administration. That is one certification, Office 365. I'm going to tell you which one. So then VMware are two certifications. You need the certificate. Although one is important, but you need the certificate. So certificate is given only when you do two certifications. First certification you can give anywhere. Second certification you have to come here and give that, right? So first is open book. Second is that you have to give in the exam center. CCNA, one more certification here, and one of the cloud certifications. That's the toughest one, cloud certifications. So let's see who breaks the bubble. Already some of us are certified here. A plus CCNA as well. Anyone CCNA? Your CCNA and A plus and 740 as well. So you've broken the bubble already. So there's a challenge now here. So you really have to. Any certifications you have done? A plus or anything? Okay, but you intend to do that, right? Perfect. So right now it's kind of a challenge for everyone. You have to, within 6 months to 1 year, you must complete these courses with a real hard work. Repeat the labs, repeat the labs, repeat the labs. But first thing, always, I'm going to repeat every time. Do you understand what you're doing, right? If you don't understand, you're wasting your time here. Go to some other course or go home, right? So do you understand? Second thing is, yes, most important thing, how to do it, how to implement that. So implement that lab. You have to know what are the steps of that, right? Again, if you're not understanding it, all the next steps are of no use. You did certifications, you did all of the apps, but you didn't understand what's the purpose of doing all that. So it's a complete waste of time then, right? So that's why I want you to understand always, and I'm going to repeat that always. If I see that you're not understanding and you're like click 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 and done and go home, I'm too busy, man, I'm tired from last night's job, okay, I don't have time to understand, but I'm going to click click click. You're okay with that, so I'm not okay with that, right? So if you are just doing the labs, then I'm going to tell you that thank you for giving us the money and wasting your time here. So I'm going to tell you that you're wasting your time here. It's a pastime here that you're doing. So you want to do that, keep doing that. Then, since you don't care, then I will also not care, right? But the thing is that you have to really understand what's going on. So if you understand whatever is the concepts are in your mind, that will get you the 35 per hour job. Whatever's here, concepts, and that's what they're going to explore. What's here in the brain, right? So that's what they really want. So we're gonna understand, and I'm gonna make sure you understand. But it's gonna be a fun class. We're gonna have a lot of jokes and ha ha ha. But the thing is, are you understanding what you're doing, right? Otherwise, it's a waste of time. So again, do the certifications in a group, or try to work hard and share your experience with others, and that's it. So the thing is that this course is all about Microsoft networks in big environments. We had a big environment in Scotiabank as well, where there were 85,000 users, and globally our branches were across the globe in all major countries. So we were handling a big Microsoft Windows environment, Linux environment, as well as there was, of course, Cisco side of people were doing their job, and there were experts for every type of software there, because that application was offering services to thousands of users there, right? So we need to create a network from scratch here, right? But we need to understand what we're doing, right? So now thing is that the lab. So we did the lab with those 3 guys there. We did the first lab, but now there are 5 more. So are you guys okay with that? We let them start the lab. So you 3 of you do not have to do the template machine. That's what we did, right? But then we're going to start together. So it will take maybe 1 hour, but after that everyone will be on the same page. Is that okay with them, right? So guys, we have to create our lab first, right? So I'm going to create an account for you, right? And then we're going to start the lab. And what is the lab that we're talking about? So I'm recording that. Yes, one more thing here. If anyone has not sent me the Gmail, so I need your Gmail. Why? Because I'm going to upload the videos of all the classes. Whatever I'm doing on the screen is going to grab that video, right? Of everything that I'm doing and everything I'm talking about. So audio and video lecture. So you will have access to that if your Gmail is added to that private YouTube video, right? Otherwise, and it's not that easy to download that private YouTube video. Public YouTube video you can download from any software, right? But private YouTube video, people try to download, without permission, that kind of thing, and it was a long process. They really have put some very good security there. So anyway, you need access to that video. I'm gonna add your Gmail to that. And one more thing, the video is available for those who show up in the class. So it is not gonna be available. I'm not gonna send you a video if you're not in the class without a reason. Give me a reason, legit reason, and I'll send you the video. Don't worry. But if there are too many legit reasons, so that's not legit at all, right? So in last course, one student was just giving me legit reason every time. Oh, this time this happened. So emergencies don't happen regularly, right? Then it's not an emergency. So the thing is, if you show up, you're gonna get the video. If you don't show up and you don't tell me the reason, I'm not gonna send the video. The college is really against making videos of the course. They are really, every college actually. I do that in George Brown as well. And I do that in other colleges as well. And I fight for that because students must repeat everything at home, must listen to the lecture at home again, right? And this video membership will be there forever. Once I add you, I don't remove anyone. So you will have those videos of the course whenever you want. After 10 years, you want to repeat those. After 2 years, after 6 months, these are always there. And you're always at it there, right? So, okay. You got that too, because if you need to access the Gmail, the video, then you just need to send me this information from your Gmail, right? So if you have done that or you will do that, then once I have your Gmail, I will add you to today's video, and then next class, all videos I'm going to be adding you all if everyone is showing up as well. So okay guys, also one more thing, we start the lab by 10:10 or 10:05. If you miss the starting of the lab, I might ask you, because then you will be stopping the whole class. Okay, I'm here at 10:30, like this, and then you go, okay, now start the lab. No, we started the lab already at 10:10, right? So this means sit back, enjoy the show, or ask somebody what was going on. If you're late, you miss the whole lab, right? So be on time so we could start the lab. I'm gonna wait for a certain time, then I'm gonna start, but do not then disturb the class. That, hey, where were you? Where is this? Where is that? So then I'm gonna ask you that, hey, you show up late and then you're stopping the class as well, right? So take it seriously, because it's gonna get you a good job. You can pass your time here and you will not get a good job. And this did happen. Those who were passing time, they saw their own classmates having good jobs, and they were still looking for an IT job till now. After 1 year, some students are contacting me, and I knew in the class performance that they never worked hard, and now they were telling me, sir, I didn't get a job. Yes, you're not supposed to. You never worked hard, right? So anyway, that's your decision, but you really need to do 200% to understand and do all the labs yourself, right? So once you get the video, you have to repeat the lab at home. Take the screenshots of all the steps, put it in a Microsoft Word document, and email me. So you have to repeat the lab at home. Take a screenshots. I hope you know how to take a screenshot. It's by snipping tool, SNIPPING. That's a snipping tool. So you take a screenshot of every step when you're repeating the lab, and then you put it all in, copy paste in MS Word document, and just label it week 1 lab or week 2 lab by your full name, right? And then email me on my email, right? So I'm gonna, there are job recommendations coming to me from my friends as well. So there are some, one guy, a manager from a company came here, and he took me to, for a talk to the other room. Then he said that, okay, one of your students, and his name is this. There are 2 students actually. So they both come to me, and there was an interview. So what do you think about them? Then first he thought he told me what he thought about those 2 students. One, he said that I don't think he's serious, and the other one, I think he's good. So what do you think? So then for the whole year, I saw both of them. One was not that serious, and the other one was really very good. He was sending all the screenshots. So I recommended that other student, and he hired him. The one student that he never sent me screenshots, or he also was not very serious in the concepts and in the understanding and the labs. So I told him what was his performance throughout the year. So he didn't hire him, right? So there could be those opportunities where I have to recommend you as well. So you really need to work hard to get, but you will enjoy all your rest of your life when once your career starts and you get a good job in the start. Then the rest of the career is you will enjoy that because on the basis of the first good job, others will also want to take you, right? They'll prefer you. So you will enjoy the rest of your life if you work hard this 1 year or 8 months or 6 months, right? So this is where the career talk is ending, and we're gonna try to start the lab here. But what are we trying to do here? I'm gonna just explain that as well. And today's video, I'm just gonna send you. If I have your Gmail, I'm gonna add that to that Gmail YouTube. So the first is that we're gonna do now. Previous video, previous class video, we did that already, right? So but still I'm recording that, but in previous class video I talked about what this course is all about, what topics are there in the course. So you can watch that video, because today I got your Gmail, so I'm just going to add you the previous YouTube video as well for this class. So you will see previous video as well as this video, and I'm going to add you to the Google group as well, because that's where we're communicating everything. Okay, so what we're doing, we're creating a lab today. So what's the lab? Lab is that we're going to create a template machine here, TemplateVM. You three guys don't have to do that, but after when we start creating clones, then we all join, right? Join in. So TemplateVM, yep. We don't need those machines. So how to delete your already created machines? How do you delete them? Yes, exactly. So you right click the machine, manage, delete from disk. All. So we're going to create our own machines with our own settings, right? So I'll be creating the 740 account there. I'll be pausing for a moment, and then doing what we need to do is template VM here. And what is the purpose of a template VM? We're going to create a lot of clones from that, or whatever we create a new clone machine or a copy machine. A clone VM can be created from this. And what is that? An exact copy of this VM. So when we say exact copy, this means that we will be installing now Windows Server 2016 inside that template VM, and we're going to carefully create that, and then we're going to shut it down forever. So the only purpose of template VM would be to create an exact copy of it, which we can use throughout the course for different purpose. So the main thing would be, suppose we are creating a new topic, we're talking about discussing a new topic, and for that we need 3 machines. So 2 machines are there, but I will ask you, go to your template machine and create one more clone. And when you create that clone will be so much configured that you will be easily adding that clone machine to your network, right? So that will be, that's the purpose. Now template VM, we're going to do some changes that will help us keep those settings on all the clones as well, so we don't have to, it will not stop the course. Our course will go smooth if we have those changes already done in a template machine. I'm going to create copies of those template machines. This is also called golden image in the production environment in the companies. So we're going to just create. So now second thing is it will shut down forever. So we are not supposed to start it. By mistake, if you start it, then you have to shut it down with sysprep. Now we're going to talk about that, but it will shut down forever. Third thing is we will do 8 modifications. We will do 8 modifications. What are those modifications? Like turn off the firewall and change the wallpapers. We're not going to do that, but there are other changes like correct your time and time zone as well, and other things, right? So and then finally shut it down with the help of sysprep. Ever heard of that? Sysprep? What is sysprep? What does it do? Oh, like Sysprep does what? So it is going to give unique SID to every clone. So if I say that it will give unique SID to every clone. Now what is a SID? It's a security identifier. Security identifier. And it looks like pretty much like this, something alphanumeric, right? But it is an ID with which every machine is identified on the network with this unique ID, right? Every machine is separately identified. So if we don't give sysprep, if we don't shut this down, template down with sysprep, what's going to happen is that it's going to, all the clones will have the same SID. If the clones have the same SID, then you cannot join them to the domain and they will have a problem being on the network. They won't be able to do a lot of tasks there on the network. So SID has to be unique, right? So we're going to be installing on this clone a Windows or this TemplateVM Windows Server 2016, and then we're going to do some modifications there that will help us throughout the course, and then we're going to shut it down with sysprep. That's our plan. So any questions till now for the plan? Yeah, that's a very good question. Anyone else? Just kidding. Yeah, nobody asked. Okay, so here, once that is well, very clear, so once we create a template VM, we're going to shut it down forever, and we're going to create two clones. Those two clones will be server 01 and server 02. Well, and server 01 will have, of course, you have to give an IP here, so 192.168.200.1 and 255.255.255.0. And then the gateway would be 192.168.200.1 as well, and preferred DNS would be 192.168.200.1 as well. And then what else we're gonna do here is we're gonna install Active Directory here, DNS here, DHCP here, and we're gonna create a copy domain admin account, and then we're going to create 390 users from PowerShell, 390 users from PowerShell. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff to create that basic network environment that is acceptable, or best practice based basic network environment for Microsoft. So this is what we're going to do here, and then these are the roles that its first clone will play. Then the second clone will be, of course, its name would be server 02, its IP would be 200.2, the rest will be same, other than that it's going to be just a member server of this domain. So we're going to talk about member server, standalone server, and domain controller as well once we go in that direction. So we're going to create our very basic lab, and then we're going to talk about the concepts of Active Directory, DNS, DHCP, and I'm going to cross question you there as well if I think that you're understanding very good and you're not asking questions yourself. So I'm going to ask questions from you, so be ready. But it's going to be fun. I'm not taking tests here. It's going to be a fun environment. So, but we must learn properly and understand everything. So we get the idea. That's the plan here. So let's get started. Okay, so VMware Workstation. Let's click that. Where's the VMware Workstation? So let's open our VMware. VM nowhere. Okay, VM here. No. VMware Workstation is this. Well, actually, you know what? I wanted to create it on the teacher machine here. I'm gonna remote in from my laptop to this desktop here, this one, and it's going to start right now. So I'm just gonna remotely connect to that and open my VMware Workstation there. In my laptop, I have other courses as well, VMware courses, and the machines for those courses are there as well. For now, you can see the machines. Actually, it's MCSA other class is 70-741, and there's a cloud class for Amazon Web Services. We created these two machines for that class. Okay, so I'll just go for the teacher machine. So I'll just close this one and remote into teacher's machine. 10.49, copy. Okay, and I'm inside now, and I hope it's getting recorded. So guys, sometimes when I pause, I forget to resume, so nothing gets recorded, so anyone can remind me as well. Is the recording working or not? And one day, Monday or Sunday, it's gonna open. Okay, it's open. So VM workstation, I'm opening here. So let's see how fast we are, how fast we understand. If it opens today. What? I think on Tuesdays, all machines are slow. Seriously? Wow. Okay. There's a hope. Okay, so 2016, and that's 7412, and that's the same machine I created there. Okay. Now because I'm just creating that, so I'm just gonna remove the first one that I created last class. Or if it's there, that doesn't bite. So let's be on this page. I think everyone's on this page, right? So I'm gonna make it a little bigger as well, and yes, I should update that, but not now. I'll click that, not right now, and it's gonna take me to this page. Okay, if you're on this machine or this page here, let's click the create new virtual machine, everyone. So let's click that create new virtual machine. So once you click that create new virtual machine here, then we're gonna go for typical here, and typical is already selected, so click next. And then there is that because we have Windows Server 2016, we're gonna put it later here. So right now, so there's normally a problem with laptops that if you install that there, those who are using a laptop here, so you guys both, you're using the desktop. In desktop, there's no problem. But what happens is if you select this screen in a laptop and go for Windows Server 2016 there, so it stops. It gives you an error in a laptop, right? So because majority of us are on the laptops, so we're gonna go your way as well. So let's click that I will install the operating system later. There's a workaround that we need to do, but the main thing is that we're going to just install Windows 2016 now, and then we're going to make some modifications and just save it in a template machine. So let's click that I will install the operating system later for now, for those who are following me, and then click next. And here, if you see this screen, are you all seeing this screen? Windows 20. So just go for 2016 here. Windows Server 2016 way here. Windows Server 2016. So Microsoft Windows, and just select Windows Server 2016. If you've done that, if anyone falling behind, you can stop me. You can ask me what was that in the previous step, so I can tell you. I can show you here as well. So I'm just gonna click next here now. And guys, if you're on the desktops or laptops, just put some proper name here. So just go on the first screen here and type dash and then your first name. So my first name is this Amir, and your first name and the course code 70-740, right? So Well, there's another 70-740 going on Sundays as well, and so that's why we can just put a date here as well. 21 uh, 2018, 21 August 2018, right? 28. Okay, 28. Well, we started on 21st, so yeah, okay, 28. Mhm. So 28, we're and once you've put that name here, that's great. Then we can so for the desktops, what happens is that, well, keep it C drive for now. Let's keep it simple. Okay, so let's keep it simple and put it on C drive. 28 August 2018. Once that is done, click next. And here, maximum disk space we can give 200, but this is called dynamic expansion, or this is also called thin provision. And what that means is, suppose now the question to you is, if your this is a virtual machine, right? So your physical desktop or laptop, if it has no free space left, or it has 20 GB free space left now, your laptop or desktop 20 GB free space only left, and you put here 200 GB for the virtual disk of this virtual machine, is that a good idea or a bad idea? Bad, right? Exactly. So thin provision is a concept where a virtual disk will only increase its size when you install something on it. So we're installing right now Windows Server 2016, that might take just 8 GB, 9 GB, 10 GB, right? So because of that, you can just so it's not gonna at once. So if you put 200 here, it's not gonna expect 200 GB free space on your physical disk. It's going to only increase the space as you put the software on it. So that is called thin provision. Thick provision is that it's gonna expect 200 GB free space, otherwise it's not gonna let you create that disk. Suppose your physical disk don't have that kind of free space, and you put here 300, 500, 700 here GB. So if you don't have that free space, it's not gonna get created. But it is thin provision, so it's going to start small, then it's gonna start expanding, right? That's the purpose of this. So we can easily put here 200 GB. We know that the Windows 2016 we're about to install will only take 8 or 10 GB space. So we are good with that. Second thing is the single file or multiple files. So single file is that the virtual disk will become, it will grow as a single file. It will keep on growing as a single file. Maybe it will grow up to 80 GB, 100 GB, 200 GB here in production environment. Maybe in our environment it will grow up to 40, 50 GB still. But if it is multiple files, what happens is that virtual disk is divided into 4 GB files. Once it is growing, it reaches 4 GB, it's going to start another file, 4 GB, it's going to start another file, 4 GB, it's going to start another file, 4 GB. What's the purpose of that? If it becomes a 100 GB file here, virtual disk becomes 100 GB, right? So you can copy over the network 4 GB files easily. But one big 100 GB file, if you start copying, it can drop data, and because of network slowness or bottleneck, you might not be able to successfully copy a one big file there over the network. So that's why you can divide it into smaller chunks of 4 GB, or just keep it growing as a big single file. Normally what happens is we copy from external drive, we take it home. Suppose you want to take this virtual machine home to a desktop or server, or any other machine at home, right? So you will just connect to external drive and then copy the whole machine here, and then you can take it. So I'm just sticking to single file, but the main thing is here, if we understand what is the purpose of both, you can select any one of those. If you want to copy it over the network, go for this. If you want to copy over the external drive, then so in production environment normally we can go for this option, but here in lab we can just put it as single file, right? So the main thing is, do we understand what we're doing, right? And I'm going to keep on repeating that, do we understand, right? And I'm going to cross question. I'm not going to take those nods always. Yeah, yeah, split disk is that this one, right? So it is that if the virtual machine has a virtual disk, and that virtual disk is growing, growing, growing. So do you want to make it a one big file, or you want to make divide it into chunks of file? 4 GB, 4 GB, 4 GB, 4. Suppose it's a 40 GB file. So 4 GB, 4 GB, 4 GB separate files up to 40 GB files. So you can copy 4 GB first, one file, then over the network, second 4 GB, then third 4 GB, then fourth, fifth. It is easier to copy over the network, right? So one big file, 40 GB, it may drop down and it could stop copying over the network for some reason if the network is slow. Yeah. For now, yeah, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going because when I show you for one thing that it is multiple, when we go inside the machines folder, it becomes messy. That's all. That's why I go for single file here. It will showing lesser files when we go inside the folder of the virtual machine for some reason, right? Yeah. Any questions till now? So this is still recording. You can still hear it at home as well, and summarize your notes. Now, during the career talk, we didn't talk about the summarizing of notes. So I'm going to be explaining a lot of stuff here. I'm going to create diagrams here, right? So you should watch the video at home and create your own notes. And those notes should be so useful in such a way that you put those notes there that after 1 year, when you're going for interview, when you see those notes, you will understand, you should be able to understand what did you write there. So if you're taking notes now, that's good. If you're taking notes at home, put it in Microsoft Word document and properly put them there as an ebook. Just like some students in the previous courses, they took their notes so seriously. When they showed me, it looked like this is an ebook coming from some publisher. It was so organized, which page has which topic, and they put that explanation from my lectures, what I was explaining there, what they understood, and then they always have 2 sources, 3 sources, 4 sources of your knowledge. So if I talk about today Active Directory, do check that in YouTube. Just type Active Directory and listen to some lectures there as well, just to have your complete knowledge about that. Although I'm gonna try to give you complete knowledge, but sometimes they come up with some examples that I haven't used, and you would understand that better as well there from there as well. So create your notes at home and try to have your own notebook there, one Word file explaining all the topics, or multiple Word files for each topic, right? So we're discussing here, you can create those notes there, but those notes should be useful notes, right? After 1 week, if you don't understand what you wrote there, then that was a waste of time, right? So write something as notes that can be understandable after 1 year as well, right? Okay, let's click next here after discussing these options, and then click customize hardware. So guys, one more rule here is that you're gonna some of us might learn it the hard way, others will totally follow that, and that is, if I haven't clicked it, don't click it. That's the rule, right? So if you have clicked it, thinking that, oh, he's obviously gonna do that step, and no, I'm gonna customize at many areas. I'm gonna tell you why I'm customizing, why I'm changing some of the default options, and what's the reason for that, right? So some students learn it the hard way, that they have gone way ahead, and then they have to delete the whole machine, and they come back here and they do the steps that I did. So don't click that if I haven't clicked it, right? So that's the basic rule. Let's see who learns it the hard way. So let's customize the hardware. Let's click that. And here, there's memory, of course. This is a virtual memory. It's gonna ultimately use the physical memory of our machine. So that's why it's very important to understand that the physical memory should be good. In your those who have laptops, you have 32 GB RAM. That is very good. If you don't have, just try to upgrade that to 32 GB, right? Later you will be loading a lot of machines there. So whenever the virtual machine starts, it loads on the memory. So the bigger the memory, the virtual machine will start faster. So then there is memory is 2 GB. So because we have our machines having 32 GB, we can just put it on 8 GB here. You can click on the 8 here. If you have 16, it's keep it to 4, right? So it's up to you, and be smart. This is your environment that you're creating, right? You're the system administrator of your environment now, so you have to be very smart there what you're doing and manage the whole thing yourself, right? Then we come to the processor here. We can give 2 processors, 1 core is okay, and those who are, we have done that as well. And last time actually we did not select this option. We're gonna select that option when we go for Hyper-V. But when we were creating our virtual machines in last class, I forgot to tell you to select this option. Okay, so whenever we do that, no, you don't have to do anything now. It's okay, it doesn't matter. When you create clone, I'm going to tell you what to do. Yeah. we're using two processors then. So it is quad core, right? It is four processors. Out of those, each machine gets to use two processors at the same time. So here, virtualize Intel VT. So select that option in the processors and two processors here. So CD/DVD, that so first change is that 8 GB RAM. Second change is processors. Third change, well, there's no change in the CD-ROM, and the fourth is the network adapter. Now these are important choices here. Now when you click the bridge option in network adapter, so I've just clicked the network adapter. You can slow me down. You can ask me to repeat the step. I will do that. So if you go for the bridge option, what will happen to that virtual machine if you click the bridge option? It will be on the physical network. So this means that if you click the bridge here, suppose you're in the office, in your office, and you brought the laptop there and you're like, okay, they didn't give me any work in the office right now for next 2 hours, so I'm gonna just practice on my virtual machine that I'm following in the class. So then you click that bridge option for that virtual machine. That virtual machine can be seen in the office by anyone, and anyone who is doing monitoring can detect that there's a new IP address and a new machine was just introduced in the physical network here. So if you click bridge, your virtual machine, anyone can ping from that class, that class, that class, that class, that class. Anyone can ping from there. So bridge is not our purpose. We're not going to go bridging there. In cloud course, we may bridge because we need the IP from the Net Plus router, DSL router. So other than that, we're gonna keep on our private network. But we need to understand what is bridging, right? It will put your machine. So if you bridge that machine at home, it's gonna grab your DSL IP from there. But the thing is, we're gonna give our own static IP range, right? Okay, guys, there's a call here that is unique. Sorry, guys. Just hello. So bridges, we get the idea that virtual machine goes over the physical network. Then we go for NAT, and that is network address translation. So you want to connect to the host and grab that internet connection or internet from the host, then NAT will be there for you. It just resolves public IP to private IPs and just gives internet. So if you need internet, we're going to go for NAT. But we're not going for NAT for this configuration. Host only is, so can you tell me that which one, what is the host in your machine right now? What thing is the host there? What do you call? So yeah, so physical laptop or physical desktop has an operating system which is Windows 10, I think, for everyone, Windows 10. So that is the host on which VMware Workstation is installed. And inside VMware Workstation, we have our guest machines here. So Windows 10 of our laptop is the host, right? Right? Okay, so host only just means that the machines can talk to each other, communicate with each other, and to the host or the Windows 10 on top of which VMware Workstation is there, and inside VMware Workstation is our virtual machines, right? So we can do that, it's okay, but we're gonna go for custom. And if we go for custom, you can drop down this option here, and you can see that it's up till 19. VMNet is written there, VMNet 1 up to VMNet 19. So anyone has an idea what is VLAN? VLAN, yeah. What is the purpose of that? VLAN, ever heard of that before? So it's segmenting the network or putting the network into half. Suppose you have a physical switch there and that, so let me just quickly go to this and grab a switch from the internet. So if I just create diagram here, and oh, I haven't opened the browser yet, ouch. Okay, so from and then network switch, and these are the switches, maybe you've seen them already. And if I just copy one switch here, and put it here. And then there are desktop machines. So these are all the desktop machines. Okay, I'll take one of these. Thank you very much. And so what happens is that suppose there are desktops that are connected to that 4 machines are connected to this. I think this is a 24 port switch. Yeah. So what happens is that you can segment the network, and suppose you have a lot of machines. This is how our all 12 machines are connected. So this is a switch here. This is and the desktops are connected from these ports here one by one. So they can communicate with each other right now. If you want to ping or share a file between this machine and this machine, they can share the files with each other because they're all connected to the same switch. But then you decide that from now on, these machines suppose are connected to sales department, and these are connected to the marketing department, and your company decides that inter-department machines communication should not be there. So what you do is that you create a VLAN or another segment here within the same switch. You create 2 VLANs or more, but one VLAN, so it could be VLAN 2 and this could be VLAN 3, and VLAN 2 machines cannot from now on communicate to VLAN 3 machines. So you can segment on the same switch a VLAN. You can configure a VLAN here, and when you go to CCNA class, maybe it's you're gonna some of the us everyone is doing a CCNA class, everyone, or anyone not doing the CCNA class right now. You're doing it, right? You're doing it CCNA class, no? CCNA, no. So, but you must. It's a must-have class, right? You're doing it, right? You guys are all doing that. You've done that, and doing it, done that, doing it, or will do. Okay, you need to pass certification, but you've gone through the CCNA class, right? Okay. So this is very important. You're gonna know how to create VLANs, and they will really teach you how to configure those VLANs. So the main thing is that the machines do not communicate with each other. VLAN 2 machine cannot communicate with VLAN 3 machine. VLAN 3 machine cannot communicate with VLAN 2. So if I go back to this VMware workstation configuration here, so that VMnet 2, so this works like a VLAN. If we go for, suppose we give one machine VMnet 2 and the other machine VMnet 3 here, so VMnet 2 machine cannot communicate with VMnet 3 machine. So these are all 19 networks here, different networks. So suppose you have a lot of machines here for different labs or different test environments. You can create separate networks for each machine. 2 machines on VMnet 2 for testing Active Directory, 2 machines on VMnet 3 testing Office 365 Exchange server. So VMnet 2 machines cannot communicate with VMnet 3 machines, even if you have same name and same IP addresses, right? So the purpose of these custom ones is that you will have different networks there if you have different machines. So this also means that suppose we have 4 machines in our lab. Should they all have the same VMnet or separate VMnet? Same? Should be any same. Suppose we have 4 virtual machines there, and we give all virtual machines VMnet 15. Will they communicate with each other or not? Do we all agree to that? I can confuse you as well. I'm like, huh, really? Really? Are you sure? Maybe you're right all the time, but I want to check your confidence now. So you can say yes.
Same number, right? Same VLAN, then it's going to be correct? No?
Well, I've explained that. Now I'm asking you. So what do you say now? Should be same or
Same.
you're saying it should be same? I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. Should be same or not? So if all the 4 virtual machines, sorry, if they want to communicate with each other, the VMnet should be same, or 2 virtual machines on VMnet, different VMnet, and 2 on different number VMnet. So it should be same or should not be same? Okay, you're saying. So suppose we have 4 virtual machines now in the lab, and half of them are on. We want them to communicate with each other. The main thing is we want them to communicate with each other. All 4 should be the same. If we want them all to communicate with each other, you're saying same. We want them all to communicate with each other. So if we put VMnet 15 to 2 of them, and if we put VMnet 16 to the other 2, will they communicate with each other? No?
So basically,
Confidence. Where is that confidence? Yeah.
we consider those VM as a network, right? So if they are on the same
Yes.
network, they should.
So VMnet 15 is an independent network. VMnet 16 is an independent network. How they're planned here, they cannot communicate with each other, right? If a machine is on VMnet 15 and another machine is on VMnet 16, they are two different networks now. 15 is a different network, 16 is a different network. They cannot ping each other, right? So if we want all four machines to communicate with each other, they have to be on the same VMnet or the different VMnet. Okay, so so no, Fatma is like same. Who else is saying no? There's a confidence same, and there's a same. So it's a okay. Tim Hortons is that side, right? Yeah. So you have to just go outside. Then there's a signal there. If you cross the signal, there's in front of you Tim Hortons big. So the thing is that if it's a wrong answer, so I'm just kidding. So the thing is that it has to be the same if they want to communicate with each other, right? It has to be the same if they want to communicate. If they don't want to communicate, make them give two of the machines 16, other 12, 10, anyone. If they are not on 16 VMnet, all four, they cannot communicate with each other. So if they want to communicate, they have to be same VMnet, right? So that's why we're giving one VMnet here, VMnet 15 here. Let's give VMnet 15. We understand what is the purpose. You can give VMnet 19, you can give VMnet 18, you can give 17, but we understand the purpose here, right? So let's go for same configuration. So I would recommend that give VMnet 15 here, and you can see that we're giving it to the template machine, right? So the template machine we're going to create clones out of that, same copies out of that. When four clones are there, automatically, because they will be exact copies of templates, they will have the same VMnet automatically. But if you ever had the communication issue, normally if student says that, oh, my machine is not communicating with this one, so first thing I check always is VMnet. Did you put the machines on the same VMnet or not, right? So VMnet 15, we're gonna just put it there. LAN segment is just that you want to start the machines together, stop the machines together, and shut them down together. You can do that. We don't have to do that. We don't want to do that because when you start them together, 4 or 3 machines, the RAM is it gets slower. So okay, guys. Here we have selected VMnet 15 here. We understood that what is bridge, what is NAT, what is host only, and this is being recorded, so you will be able to understand by recording playing the video again and again, and make your notes at home as well. So USB, it's okay, we need that. Sound card, it's okay, being here or not, doesn't matter. Printer and display, they're all okay. So the only changes on the hardware is 8 GB RAM, 2 processors, and make sure that if you haven't clicked that, it's for now we don't need that. Later we might need that. We will need that for Hyper-V, right? So virtualize Intel and processors. So and third thing is that we made a change in the network adapter. We put in custom and VMnet 15. So these are 3 changes we have done. If everyone has done the same changes, then let's click close here and click finito. Now what we have done is we haven't given the path of an operating system ISO yet. We haven't done that, right? So now it is closed for everyone. So let's click that edit virtual machine settings. Oh, did we do that? Okay. So let's close that. Sorry, let's close that edit virtual machine settings. If you flick that, I asked you, but I then forgot something. My bad. So close that and then power on virtual machine first of all. Once it powers on, there is no ISO there, right? So just go ahead and power on. I'm just going to power on now. So yeah, ignore this. I'm just going to click no. So it's just going to search like this. There's no ISO there. It is on the, if everyone's machine is on the same page here, except those, you guys are okay, you don't have to do that, right? So if it's on the same page, why? Because we never gave an ISO there. Now what happens is that we're just following a workaround here. So right click on the top white area here, this one, I hope everyone sees that. So right click on this and go for settings of this. So click the settings. If you're falling behind, let me know. So if you've come here, then you can now go to CD. Now go to CD drive, and you can see the these check boxes there. Check, check. First of all, this connected, power on. We need it connected. The DVD with the ISO, we need it connected. So, and then let's go for the use ISO image file and click it. Let's click that. Now we just need to go where our Windows Server 2016 ISO is there. So in the desktops, it is in C drive ISO folder. So in the desktops, it is C drive ISO folder. So everyone on this page? So you can right click here. Yeah, you can help. Yeah. So Control Alt. Yeah, the mouse is now showing. So now you can go up and right click on the white area. This one. Yeah, and properties. Way down. Perfect. So you're here now. So then this fourth one, CD DVD, and then the two check boxes. Click. Right now, use ISO image file. Use ISO image file and click browse. So let's click browse, and wherever our Windows Server 2016 ISO is, and where it is in C drive ISO folder. So I'm going to go to the left side C drive here. And in laptops, you just need to know where you put the ISO Windows 2016, right? In laptops, you know. So those who are on the desktops, you can follow this C drive and then ISO. So inside the ISO, do you see Windows Server 2016 written anywhere there? Nope. Inside ISO folder 2016. So you can see also these long writings here. At the end of the long writings, there's should be 2016 written here, like this.
Same thing, like Windows Server 2016, right?
Yeah.
So what are the values?
Exactly.
You don't have it? No, not really. It's not ISO.
Maybe. But you know that check it out.
Last one. 1, 4, 3, 3.
Okay, guys. So we were all able to see that.
So I mean, here I can click that.
Well, it's okay. It's just not required. Oh, it's okay. So keep it there.
Don't think so much. We teach you, brother. इसके बाद क्या होगा? क्या शादी क्या अरेंजमेंट क्या था? अरेंजमेंट क्या था? शादी और लव मैरिज?
Right, guys. So let's. क्यों घूम जाता है भाई? Oh, okay. So guys, let's go ahead. And 2016. And are we all here? Oh, one guys. Well, maybe it's too easy. So if you have selected the 2016 here, press OK. And once you've pressed OK, everyone has pressed OK, right? So, oh, the yes came from the other class. Yeah. Oh, sorry. There was a remote yes coming from. So here, no, you don't have. You've already done that. So here, guys, if you see that and you've pressed OK, you can see the three white buttons here. This one, these three buttons. This will cause a restart of the operating system, right? Of this machine. So there is no operating system yet. So let's click these three buttons here, and it will restart. As soon as it restarts, now it's loading for me. Oh, good. Okay. So if you see that, you're good. You're okay. We all see that, right? You don't? So if you're on this screen, you have to choose the second one, time and currency format, the second window as English Canada. This will correct our time. Because if you like now, let's just put it again there. Well, yeah. Did you reset that? No, then you select that and just press anywhere here because it says press any key from CD over here. Control or and I think it's coming back. So first we will select the screen. This should not be showing you. Select the screen. Now when you press the key. Wow, that was strong. You will say, hey, please don't break my laptop. Okay guys, so if you're there, we can do this. Time and currency format, the second one, only the second one. This one, and click and choose the Canada English. So go way up until one day, Monday or Sunday, you're gonna find that. Where is it? English Canada. Huh? You don't have it? There you go. So the benefit of doing that is that it's going to fix our time zone, right? So Eastern time is gonna fix that too. So one of the 8 modifications, we have to correct our time, of course. Without time correction, you will get a lot of mistakes, and you need to troubleshoot your network then. So English Canada, if this is selected, let's click next. I hope it's selected, right? Once you click next, go ahead and click install now. Click install now. And then we have to select the fourth option in the edition. Oh. See this? If anyone reached here, you have to go for the fourth option, data center evaluation, desktop experience. So there's a graphical user interface, or GUI, GUI, that is desktop, and the third one and first one is actually non-GUI, which is just CLI or command line interface, right? So we're not going to go for first or third. We're going to go for second or fourth. So we're going to go for fourth, which is data center edition, that supports bigger applications and a lot of unlimited virtual machines there. Data center standard edition supports only 2 virtual machines, and it's not suitable for enterprise applications when it comes to scalability of thousands of users connecting. So fourth one,
Fourth one is a GUI.
GUI, yeah, desktop experience. So, and it's written in the description as well when a GUI is required. So let's if you selected the fourth one, let's click next. I accept the license agreement. Next. Custom install Windows only advanced. It's the custom. And we're not going to format the disk. We can format the disk here. Well, we can just make new partitions here. We're going to, of course, format that. But we can put it half partitions here, 100 GB as well. But we're not going to do that. We're going to keep one big partition of 200 GB and click next. And now it's going to install. Yay! Oh, okay. If you wanted to break, that's the time. Oh, you really want to break? You hurt my feelings now. Okay, just kidding. Yeah. Okay, take a break and let's come back in 10 minutes. Yeah, right. 10 minutes, like 10 minutes, not 15 minutes. So, oh, the light.
Light on?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
It's gonna be messy.
good. Oh. I mean, you're the best teacher, right?
Oh. Yeah. You have to click like this, then click it, right? Because if you do it with this hand, this means it's not inside the virtual environment. So now it is inside. Now it is outside. So if you click anything, it's not going to go inside, and they're not going to receive it, right? So once it's outside, let's just start there again, and then click inside. Now any button when the message comes, any button. No, not this. Any button. Control what will take it out. When that here, yeah. Now I just put it inside, so it's inside the virtual environment already. I think it's going to go for the BIOS. So you're doing it again with us, right?
Yes. Oh, that's good.
Then you know what are the next steps. Yeah, Canada English and four. All right.
So mine, I removed my hypervisor and the disclaimer, so they're on the same page.
Oh, now it's here as well. VMworks.
Yeah.
Perfect, man.
Before I figure out, I cannot do both.
Yes, you
so
can.
I removed the hypervisor, then I installed it. Oh, good. That's working.
Oh, perfect. Now we're on the same.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Cool. gonna resume now, and that's good. I didn't forget to resume. So guys, if you're there, if you're on the password page, or you're getting there, I guess. So there's a class password for that, and I would recommend that always put that password whenever it asks for a password, right? So it's going to be small ABC, capital ABC, shift 123. So sorry? Yeah, that's a class password, and you can just stick to that class password wherever it asks for a password here. In a production environment in the companies, normally it will be different difficult passwords. So if you press shift and 123, then exclamation, at sign, and pound sign will come. If you keep pressing shift and 123, it will give you the advanced characters there. The characters, special characters, not advanced characters. Seriously. Okay, so simple ABC, capital, small ABC, capital ABC, and keep pressing shift 123 is this. So let's put that password there, and always put the password wherever this password. So I'm gonna refer to as class password. So I'm gonna tell. Yep. Yeah. So wherever I say that, hey, everyone, please put the class password. Just put this password. And we must repeat this lab at home as well. And you must create a separate environment, exactly the same thing again, everything at your home as well. Take screenshots of every step you do, and then put it in an MS Word document and send it to me, email me. So I'm going to be following up with who have emailed me, who haven't emailed me, and it's good for you. I can ignore that too, and don't care about that, but it's good for you that you repeat all the steps at home, right? So that's why I'm going to just keep on asking who sent me the steps and who didn't send me the steps. Okay guys, so once this is put there, just put it somewhere as, and don't forget to press shift when you're putting 1 2 3 there, so the special characters could come there. Now let's go ahead and put that password here as well. So here, small ABC, capital ABC, shift 1 2 3, and I'm putting that I sign. If you click that I sign, of course it's gonna just show you there right away. Exactly. So small ABC, capital ABC, shift 1 2 3 here as well, and that's it. So just put the same password here 2 times and press finish. Click finish, right? So click the finish button and just go ahead and log in. And so now we're on this page, and this is the login page. It's asking for press Control or Delete, but we can just press these 3 buttons. If you want to press on the keyboard, it's Control or Insert. That's going to send the direct Control or Delete to this. But here, let's just press these 3 buttons here, and then what password you gave just now, just give that password. Small ABC, capital ABC, keep pressing shift 1 2 3, and log in. Yay! We logged in. Yay! So the 3 guys are bored to death now. They're like, come on, teach. Get to that level where we were in the last class, teach. Come on. That's too much. Okay, anyway. So we're just, on the same page. So guys, if you miss one single step, normally the whole configuration is, you won't be able to reach that configuration. So every step is important. But because it's recorded, so it will always be with you. You won't miss anything. You can just see the recording any number of times. So once you've logged in here, I hope everyone's logged in here. Well, it's still loading because it's going to load the server manager page here, and that page is our best friend. Server manager has all the links and URLs. This one, server manager, has all the links, URLs, and utilities there that you click, that with which you can remotely configure any environment and manage that, and also configure the local server here. So we're going to configure this local server here because copies of it we're going to use. So we're going to perfectly configure this one. So whatever changes we want to make in the next machines would already be there. Now, what are those 8 modifications that I was talking about when I go to the map? So if I go back to the diagram here, now TemplateVM is this, and it will be shut down. It will shut down forever. Yes, we know that. But we will do 8 modifications. So first, install the Windows 2016. That is done. Let's go for these 8 modifications that we want. We don't want to repeat them in every clone when we create that. So Where are those 8 modifications? Normally I put it on my forum there that I update with technical information, all the time. So that forum is idprofcourses.boards.net, and that I just maintain myself and put up because I do a lot of other courses as well. So I put all the information there for those courses, especially YouTube links for those when we go there. So it's idprofcourses.boards.net. It's just my forum, and you don't have to really follow that, but it's good information that I keep on putting there. So I'm just gonna it's in the video anyway, so you're gonna see that in the video. But right now I just want to go to that area where the 8 modifications are there. So this is all the courses that I teach, and anything latest I find in contracts, any companies implementing or anything, any latest courses, I at once try to put in this college, so students would really benefit from that and get jobs sooner than later, right? So I keep going down here until I reach the journal section here, and then here's the how to prepare your lab. So because at the start of every course we have to do that, we have to create our template machine. So I'm just going to go up there, steps to create the first template machine, software to download. So I'm just gonna click that, and that's a cool guy here. Oh, just kidding. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here, what changes we make will make. So these are the 8 modifications here. Now here, VMware tools, firewalls turn off, time zone change. We did that already. Time zone change. Shared folder. I'm going to explain what is that. Internet export security. We're going to turn it off, and I'm going to explain every step and why we're doing that. Unlocking the screen. We're going to check that as well. So let's go for the most important thing, that is VMware tools, and install that in our machine, because it will open advanced features in our virtual machines. So it is very important in a virtual environment. When you go for VMware course itself, at that time also you will understand that any virtual environment, the VMware tools for VMware and Hyper-V tools for Hyper-V, Citrix tools for Citrix, they are all important, right? So let's go for our environment there. This is our virtual machine where we are right now. And if you see that virtual machine here, let's so guys, if I click the mouse on this, I want to take the mouse outside. I'm gonna click Control Alt. The mouse will be out, right? So it will be like a hand showing here. So Control Alt. Always remember that if you are unable to put your mouse there on the top, just Control Alt. It will come out of that virtual screen. So anyway, right click on this white area here, this one. So I hope everyone's seeing that. Right click on this, and I hope everyone sees that install VMware tools written on the second last line. So click that, install VMware tools. Once you click that install VMware tools, what it does is it mounts the code or the software to the DVD of this virtual machine. There's a pop-up that will come here like this. This pop-up is coming. If you see that pop-up, you can click that, but maybe someone misses it. So I'm gonna deliberately miss that now, right? Or I missed it. So once you click the VMware tools, you can go down to this yellow folder. Make sure you're going down to the virtual machine yellow folder, not the physical desktop yellow folder, right? These two look the same, right? These two. But I'm just going to go for the inside one, the virtual machine, and click that yellow folder here, which is actually called File Explorer. So click the File Explorer. And once you click the File Explorer, you can see this PC, right? Click this PC. And I hope everyone is able to see the gray VM sign there. Everyone? Right? Everyone? Okay. So just double click that. In French, it would be double click, I guess. I hope anyone knows French here. So I would learn. So double click that or double click. Oh man. No, I just know bonjour, monsieur, and comment ça va? Ça va bien? That's it. So but I love to learn French. I like, some common sentences. My cousins come from Belgium, and they tried to teach me French. I was like, huh? Then I was like, oh, okay, I'm good with English. Okay. So anyway, but yeah, it's pretty interesting language. So guys, you would see that, a blinking icon there. So if you see that blinking icon there, so welcome to the installation. Just it's a basic installation of some files there that would enable or that would install some advanced features in this virtual machine. So click next here, nothing here. Click the typical, typical is already clicked, right? So keep it clicked and click next. and click install. That's it. Next, finish, right? And you must restart after that. And then once it is done, just restart. We're taking our time and trying to carefully configure this template VM. So if you click finish, it's gonna ask for restart. Just click the restart. Right. Yeah. So click finish and go ahead and restart. And once it restarts, then we're gonna go for the second, third, fourth, fifth option there. So I'm just gonna go back to my forum here and here VMware tools, and now the second one would be firewalls turn off, and time zone we're going to double check because it should be correct already when we selected that Canada English. And then there's shared folder, Internet Explorer, unlocking the screen. So we're going to do all that, and the final is sysprep. So let's go for the firewall one and the next ones one by one. So I'm just gonna go to screen, which is still restarting. Okay. So we're gonna go slow, but it's you know, these all exams, these all certifications are meant for those who are already handling the networks, who are already in the job environment, and who are handling the network for 2,000 users. These exams are meant for those. Microsoft said. So, but I always, in every college, I see that they majority are total beginners, right? So we have to go to that level of you know, where we are handling the network. So that's why we are going for. I'm not going exam wise. Exam says that first chapter is monitoring. So if you're already knowing the whole environment, then you go for monitor, right? So, but here we have to learn the whole thing from the basics. So that's why I'm going, you know, with the basics. And we're creating our whole network. Suppose you got a project there. Hey, I want to create my Microsoft environment in my branch. So that's what we're doing. We're going from the basics here, excuse me. And then we're going to go for more complicated, and it's going to get so complicated. But we're going to be having fun while doing that, right? So we're going to exchange jokes, and if somebody makes a mistake, the silver spoon biryani is my favorite. And it's on, I'll tell you the intersection as well, right? Biryani is like, you know, it's rice and okay, anyway, no one interested. So anyway, that's food. I thought, oh, yes. Okay, so some of us don't know. So some of us don't even know what's biryani. So it's just rice we have talking about. You know, I got fat because of that. So anyway, and Tim Hortons is that way. I always say that. Anyway, it's gonna get very complicated, but that will really get you. If you're smart in the interview, that will get you a job, right? So again, we're considering on it should be job oriented. So click that 3 buttons here if you logged in already. If you haven't logged in already, then just go ahead. Now it's the local administrator account. Administrator account is always there for every Windows operating system, either server or client machines. So I'm just gonna go for the same class password and log in, right? So question to you is Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10 Home Edition. Windows 7 Home Edition, Windows 8 Home Edition, or Windows 10. Are these meant for the network, company networks, or not?
Of course.
So what is supposed to be deployed as a client operating system in big companies? Professional, exactly. So Windows 10 Professional, Ultimate Edition, Business Editions. But Home Edition, when you see anywhere, especially when you buy a laptop from any company, they put a Home Edition. That is meant for home. So you don't see that Home Edition. So you won't see a lot of features there for the network and security as well. So for network and security, you normally go for Professional Edition of Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, right? Or Enterprise Edition. Okay, so we have logged in here. I hope everyone's logged in here. And if you are logged in, so and Server Manager is loaded already, so you can click the local server here. This one, local server. So you can click the local server here, and the first thing here you can see in the local server. So it's a local server, so this means the local configurations are there. So Windows Firewall public on, right? So Windows Firewall, public on. Let's click that and turn off. So in production environment, in companies, normally the firewalls are on, and in some companies it is on, some companies they're off. In Scotiabank, that's a big one, right? And all the server side firewalls were, as a policy, they were off. But in some banks, in some big companies, server side firewalls are on. So we're going to have a separate topic on firewalls. How do we, when do we put them on, power them on, what exceptions you want to add, how the machines will communicate with each other, how the enterprise applications will communicate with each other. If they're on and you haven't added the exception, you haven't allowed the applications to talk to each other over the network, the main job of firewall is to block communication. The main job of firewall is to block communication, right? So if you block the communication, of course, then you can't have your banking applications, hospital applications, insurance applications talk to each other. If they don't talk, there's no benefit of those deploying there. So normally you add exceptions in the firewall, or you allow the application to communicate, or just those specific applications to communicate with each other, right? But all other traffic is blocked. No other kind of traffic can communicate with each other. So firewalls are pretty good security option there, security tool there. But right now we are learning the basic concepts here, so that's why we're going to turn them off. Otherwise, don't go for interview and say that. So what about the firewalls? If the interviewer asks and you said, my teacher told me that to turn off the firewall, so I'm going to turn all your firewall off. So don't say that in the interview, right? So, and they will sue me first. That, hey, what are you teaching them? So
we are doing this only for the security purpose, right?
yeah, this is for the security purpose, and that's one of the main things in the companies. So some companies by policy turn off the firewall, but they have other security tools there. McAfee end-to-end security, right? And so what is McAfee end-to-end security? McAfee firewall or antivirus, we know already, right? So end-to-end securities, they also encrypt your disk. They also encrypt your communication. So it has a full security solution for every server and every. So if they have that third-party security tool, then they turn off the Windows firewall because of that, right? So, but normally antivirus also handle and they control the firewall as well. So there are many policies there. For now, we are turning off for the course because we're going to have a separate topic just on firewall, that how to power them on, how to communicate, how to add the exceptions. You just need to know how to add the exceptions there, right? So port 53, you need to know ports as well. I'm gonna from time to time gonna keep on asking you what are the ports, because in interviews ports also come. So port 53 is DNS, port 21 is 21, port 25 is email, port 110 is also POP3 email, port 21 is FTP, and port 23 is telnet. And so ports make the communication go. If we need to send an email and it uses port 25 to communicate with the users, if the firewall blocks port 25, you cannot send the email, right? So firewall blocks the application, firewall specially blocks the port. Port is the way an application communicate, right? So you must know the ports, major ports. Not there are like 1024 ports, 1000 ports there, 1000 applications, and normally there are 67,000 ports. Don't try to remember all them. So but just go for the most common ports, right? I'm going to keep on asking them again and again, because in the interview it was asked to me many times, and I keep on giving interviews just for the just to learn what's going on nowadays. Or maybe there's a job for me that it's paying good and I don't have to do anything. Maybe I got lucky. No, that doesn't happen. I'm just kidding. So the thing is that let's just click the firewall off, but you must understand that it's not the policy of the companies. We are just doing it for our network, our current environment, right? So we could first understand the basic concepts. If firewall stops us from doing many of the things, then you would be confused. Then, oh, first you have to open the port. Oh, again, what were we doing? Oh, yeah, we were understanding that. So what is this port to do with that? So that's why we're just putting the ports off right now. So, okay, turn Windows Firewall, or not ports off, like firewalls off. So turn Windows Firewall on or off. You can see that on the left side and click that. Sorry? Just for this one virtual machine. Home computer, put them on. Turn them on, because the DSL routers that you have at home, anyone can hack them and connect to your environment, and they have then local administrator passwords. They have different applications for that, and then they can grab your pictures and videos, right? So the thing is, yes, turn them on, put the firewall on. Especially you can put your DSL router, go inside the DSL router and have it connected as MAC address based connection. MAC address is your network card address of your machine. So you will have to do that manually, but that's the most secure method, that any of your neighbors cannot hack your network then, right? If you go for MAC address based, you can add the machine. So suppose you have a lot of guests there, you then can remove that, because you cannot get everyone's cell phone's MAC address and they are in the party. Other than that, have every device added with MAC address. Anyway, they're gonna understand that later. So turn off Windows Firewall off and turn off Windows Firewall. So that's the two things we're doing here, and make sure they're red. But for every other environment, yes, you normally go for company policy. So in the interview, you should be saying, yes, I'm going to follow the company policy about the firewall, and firewalls are very important, and go with the opinion that yes, firewalls should be off, unless the company says that they will be off. Go for the policy, firewall is on. Sorry, what's wrong with it? I need coffee. So always go with the opinion, I think that firewalls should be on. But if the company policy says off, then go for off, right? But always be in support of firewall on. So anyway, we've just done that, and press OK. So make sure you've turned it off. So once you press OK, you can see the both profiles here turned off. There will be a third profile added later for the domain, and we're going to turn that off later when we install that directory. But right now we're done with the firewall, so let's just close this. Let's close this, and it's still showing on, so we can refresh that. This one, we can click the refresh, and it's off now, right? So okay, that is off. And then if you're on the same screen, you can scroll to the right side. If you're on the same screen, scroll to the right side, and then what you can see is that there is Eastern time already showing there. This means it is correct time right now, because we made that change there in the start, so it is correct time now. Other thing is that if I just look at the right above this Eastern time, is that IE enhanced security configuration. So this is on, so we're gonna click that and turn it off as well. So this just offers on the browser that hey, are you sure you want to open that site? Are you sure you want to open this site, that site, this site? So we're gonna turn it off. But in production environment, in companies, normally you keep it on there. This is something that is always on. IE enhanced security, unless they have a third-party tool to turn it off. So IE enhanced security, click the on button here, and just off for both administrator and user. Although normally administrators are supposed to log into this server.
What's that actually? What was that?
So it is browser security, Internet Explorer security, or Google Chrome security.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it is just Internet Explorer security.
Shutting down.
Yeah. So we're turning off the browser security right now, because some of the browser-based labs, it's gonna ask us again and again, are you sure you want to connect? Are you sure you want to connect? So it will keep on bugging us. But in production environment, we keep them on. Do not turn them off, right? This is in test environment, we're doing that. So press OK here. So once that is, well, it's still showing on, so I'm just gonna click refresh here. Although it is off, it's just gonna refresh after some time. So we refresh it right now to just see the results. It's okay. Windows Defender is okay. That's okay. Normally in production environment, when you create a golden image or a machine that will be cloned later, so normally we install all the updates for that, right? Normally we do that, install all the updates. But here, even if you don't install all the updates, we're gonna be able to do all the labs there as well. But if we started the updates, it's gonna take forever. It's gonna take forever. So so those who are having laptops, maybe you could just start this and update that, for the clones, but not for this. Actually, you can do for this, but the thing is that I don't want you to start after we permanently shut it down. Anyway, so guys, here, once that is done, now we have one more thing here, and that is shared folder. Now, what is a shared folder feature? Shared folder feature means that you can copy paste big software back and forth between the virtual machine and the physical desktop. So if I minimize this VMware workstation here, this is the desktop, right? This is our desktop. So any software you want to copy from here to inside the virtual machine, And from virtual machine inside the physical desktop, you can do it from the shared folder feature that is only available inside the VMware workstation. So if we understand what is the concept of that, we're going to prove that now, right? So what do you mean by copy paste software? So of course, I'm going to be in some labs, I'm going to be asking, hey, copy the whole thing here to this virtual machine from outside. So you will, if the VMware tools are installed and shared folder feature is enabled, then you will be able to do that for big software, right? So let's click the right click this right now, right click on the white area on the screen and click settings. Again, we must understand what we're doing, right? Otherwise anyone can do that. Click, 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 click. So settings, right click and settings, and then we can go for options, the new tab here, the other tab here, not the new, other tab on the top, options. And do we all see this? Shared folders, yay. So once we see that shared folders, this is, we are able to use that because we've already installed VMware tools. If you haven't installed VMware tools, this will be all disabled here, grayed out, right? So click the shared folders here and then click always enabled. And then click map as a network drive in Windows guests, right? So make sure shared folders, always enabled, map as a network drive is checked. If it is checked, then you have to give a path to a folder that is living outside in your physical desktop. So click the add button here. Click the add button here and click next. So then it's asking that where is that folder which lives outside of this virtual machine in a physical desktop. So you go for click browse. Now it's going to show you the folder structure that is outside of this virtual machine. So click the browse button here and this is your outside physical desktop. So you can just give the path of c:\software because that's where your software is, and those on the laptops you can go for C drive and click the software folder. Those in the physical desktop you have C drive and ISO folder. The point is the same, that wherever your software, whichever folder has the software, just point to that folder. Just select that folder and press OK, right? So in my case it is ISO. In your case, I think the laptop ones, you have a folder called software. Just click that folder software. So I'm going to click the ISO folder there, or any folder that has a software, right? You can even click a C drive. The whole drive will be then available from within inside the virtual machine. So I'm going to click the ISO here and press OK. So this means that this virtual machine will be connected to the ISO folder that is living outside of the virtual machine inside the physical desktop. So if your folder path looks like this, c:\software or ISO, it's OK, and click next. Enable this share. Yes, this is OK. It will appear as a share inside this PC, and don't make it read only because we're going to copy back and forth from both ways, not just one way. So click finish and press OK. Now, what's the proof that it is there? So, if you've pressed OK, you can see the yellow folder or the File Explorer here. File Explorer, click the yellow folder and click this PC. Click the yellow folder and click this PC. Do you see a Z drive? Everyone sees a Z drive? Okay, that Z drive, somebody missed a step, or... So if you don't see a Z drive, but did you click this PC?
No, you have to go to File Explorer.
Yellow folder? Nope. So where's the yellow folder? Go down. Oh. Master G means respected teacher. So this PC, like that, and see that. So this lab, you have to repeat that code. Create the screenshots of every step, copy it in MS Word, and send that MS Word to me. I know I'm brutal. I'll just kidding. Okay. So, but this is good for you. Those notes that students created, when they got the job, they sent me, some of the students sent me a thank you email, because all the steps that they create screenshots for, some of the steps they had to do in the production environment in the companies. So they just went with their screenshots and they were able to just configure that right away. Because we're going to go for many complicated configurations, so better take screenshots of every step when you're repeating that, because the video is there waiting for you, right? You can play anytime. Screenshots. Snapshot is the snapshot of point in time backup of a virtual machine. Screenshot is the shot of the screen or the picture of a screen. Yeah, sure. I'm going to show you now. Yeah, yours question. VM workstation is just, yes, we use ESXi in VMware ESXi. That's another course here. So, but ESXi normally we use, and in that course we do a lot of in-depth labs. This is VMware is still going on the weekends, and for full-time students also it's going on. Yeah, yeah. In production environment, there's a big virtual environment, very big. Majority of the companies you will see a very big. Majority of the companies will have VMware-based environment. ESXi hypervisors will be there, or Hyper-V based environment will be there as well. That's cheaper. So we're going to do in this course Hyper-V based labs as well. So you know the first course 70-740, that's what I call the commando course. That makes you commandos. Although it's supposed to be for the beginners, it's the first course. They should put the easier things here. In MCSA 2012 they did it the same thing. MCSA 2012 they make the first course easier, then tough, and then tougher and toughest, right? This first one is the toughest. If you survive that, you're good, soldier. Then you're good. Then 741 and 742 are not that tough, and you will feel yourself, that's it. Okay, this means you're good enough already. So Microsoft says if you want to join this, if you're serious, go for that first course first, and we're going to know that you're serious. Then the next courses will be like, no big deal, because failover clustering, that's the one of the toughest lab, and Hyper-V live migration and Hyper-V replica, these are the toughest labs, and they've put in 70-740. So that's why you need to repeat all the labs. Make the habit of repeating the labs at home from now on. When it gets complicated, it will be easier for you, right? But if you do that course while with full understanding, all the interview based labs where they will ask failover clustering, how do you do that, what is the concept of that, so you'll be able to answer those questions easily, right? So you'll be ready for the interview. 20%, actually I will say 50% of the interview for Microsoft you'll be ready by doing this course, but the rest of the 50% you should be ready as well. Those are totally different topics and they are very important, but the tougher and important topics are here in this course. So anyway, and we're going to go for cloud as well. Azure, one of the labs is cloud lab as well. Okay, so here Z drive is there. Let's double click the Z drive, and you can see that your whatever folder you give the path of, it is showing inside that Z drive now, right? So it's the ISO that I have given the path of that software folder that you've given the path. You see that software, right? But how to take that? You don't see that? Fatma, you see that? Oh, you see that? Okay. So you were like a little, worried kind of face. So I thought, it's not there. Okay. So yeah, in production environment, in companies, maybe the boss says, hey, do this. You'll say, oh, no problem. Inside, you have no idea how to do that. But outside, you're going to show that you're totally calm, relaxed, and yes, you're going to make it happen. Show your confidence to the boss. They will always give you tasks. So it happens many times to me as well. Happened that, they're given a task and I have no idea how to do that. Oh, no problem, sir. 5 minutes, 10 minutes? No, take half an hour. Okay, the boss says. And I said, oh, thank God, I have no idea what he just said. So I Google it at once when he's gone. Oh, okay, let's do it. So in 15 minutes, done, sir. So, but the confidence you showed before. If the boss says, do that, and you say, what? I never did that before. The boss will not have the confidence. The boss will lose the confidence on you. Don't let that happen. Show your confidence there. Yes, don't worry, I will do that. That's it, right? So always look calm, relaxed, and no problem. Okay, anyway, so and the snapshot, screenshot. See, I got confused as well. So how to take a screenshot, guys? there's a snipping tool here. So I'm just going to show you that, and then we're going to go ahead. So if you go down to this search option here and type here down here snipping, SNIPPING, snipping tool, SNIP. If you just put snip here, this will come up there. Snipping tool, this will come up. So just type SNIP or the full thing. So just go ahead and click that snipping tool. Once you click that, so this small screen comes in front of you, this one. I hope everyone is able to see that, right? So what happens now, that suppose I want to take a screenshot of this area here. So I'm going to go down to the snipping tool, and this is the, there's a scissors icon showing there down below, scissors icon. So I'm going to click the scissors here and this new button here. Click the new button here. Once you click the new button, everything will go gray like this. So and there's a plus sign here. This will let you choose which portion of the screen you want to take a screenshot of. So I'm going to start selecting. Suppose I want to just take the screenshot of this folder. I'm going to start selecting from here, 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 here. Okay, maybe that's it. But I'm supposed to take the full screen, right? So once it is selected here, you can just, there's a copy button here. Save snip, or better go for this copy. Click the copy. And I would have my MS Word already open there, because you're going to do that for all the steps there. So you will get a, very familiar with that. I'm just opening a MS Word here. Oops. Okay. Word. And just simply paste that. Word. And simply paste there. Accept and start with it. Okay. So here, if I press right click and paste, so you see this, the snip that I took there, the snipping tool, the screenshot I took there, it's here now, right? We all are okay with that, right? And it's recorded as well. When you see the video, you can see that how to take a screenshot. Huh?
Which file have you opened?
Snipping tool.
No.
The Word file?
Yeah.
Yeah, Microsoft Word. So just type Word here, and it will come up. So see this, if you have MS Office installed there, then you type Word and this will come, desktop app Word. But if you don't have MS Office installed, so that's why I was saying that get a college email, and it has MS Office 2016 latest free available there with the college email. So log in from the college email from so those who have college email, since now we have talked about that, so one more thing to say here. Those who have college email, so first of all, those who don't have college email, please go to Mary and Ravi and just get a college email for the duration of this course or for the whole year, because full-time students can have that. So then once you have college email, you can go to this link. Remember that portal.office.com. If you have a college email, you can go to portal.office.com. It will ask for username, password. So college email is your username and your password is whatever password Mary, Ravi gave you, right? So it is important, download that and try to use the Office 365 from there. Make a habit of using that. What is SharePoint there, and all the apps that are there, try to use them at home. Try to play with them, right? So portal.office.com and this college email. So username is @netpluscollegeemail, right? The college email, netpluscollege.com. So get that if you don't have it, because I'm going to upload all the slides there. I could give you the slides in any other way, but I want you to use Office 365 because majority of the environments have Office 365 and they will expect you to know that already. So you should be familiar with the Office 365 environment already. So that's why we're going to be familiar. I'm going to make you familiar with that by putting all the slides there, and you can only have that slide access if you get the college email. So if there's anyone who is just joining for this course and not a full-time student, we can still create a college email for you for that duration of the course, right? Okay guys, so this is what we were talking about, but then, yeah. What happened? No, so click that. Click on this box. Yeah, no. Now it's become smaller screen, right? Now where is the same area? screen should be already there, right? Yeah, let me. And now select only, because you want to have a screen of this, select only from this area. File code, keep dragging.
You can see now.
Yes. So you're gonna practice that when you drag it. Now only see this. What you drag only this area. We have a word file.
This is save. See this one?
Word pad. Yeah. It's word file. Like that.
No, we are not saving the VMware. We are saving this software. For you guys, iOS is. For us, the laptop. Yeah.
Now you got that. Then you can save the word.
That's the file you have to create here.
Yeah.
So that's a whatever corresponding. You open that file.
Yeah. This word file is in your physical desktop.
You don't save it anything.
No, so when you save, it's gonna
Then
save
if
in
you
C
save
drive.
it, then you can go this file.
So
then you can see
yes, we have to figure that out. This is technical stuff, but you have to really practice it. You have to master it, right? Because you're going to be doing that a couple of thousand times.
what's the
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. No, no, software folder. No. We just wanted to map to the ISO folder. That's all. We don't have to save anything. So if you map it to the ISO, that's good enough. That's good. Alright, guys. So, but please do ask me if there are any problems with the snipping tool. Just create one screenshot, second screenshot, third screenshot. It will be very easy for you. But right now it looks complicated. But if you're trying your best, it's gonna be easy for you, right? So the thing is, go for it, because we're gonna make a mistake because we're learning right now. But if you're determined, everything will become easier for you. Easier, easier, easier. Because you're repeating it again and again and again and again, right? So here, so we have turned off the firewall. Time zone is good, check. Shared folder is okay, check. And Internet Explorer security is okay, right? The final thing is, or the semi-final actually, it's unlocking the screen. So what does that mean? Unlocking screen means that suppose we've opened the server for more than 10 minutes. So we have two servers here, and we are working on the second one. And it has been half an hour. We are configuring something. So when we go back to the first server, it is locked now. It already automatically locks that. So every 15 minutes, if it is idle, it's gonna lock itself. Then you have to just put the username password every time you want to use that again. So we don't want that feature. In companies, you should keep it enabled. That if you're not working on that, that it should lock, right? So you should put a username password. That's good for security. Here we will be configuring back and forth the servers again and again. We don't want to every time put the username password there. So that's why we're going to remove that setting, default setting of if the machine stays idle, it will lock the screen and you will have to put a username password to gain access to the desktop again, right? So that's the default setting. We're going to change it to that. We're going to change the time now, that don't lock it so soon. So are we all back here? So are we on this screen on the virtual machine? So once we are here, do you see that Windows icon here? You have to right click that icon. Oh, seriously? Okay, there's a blue donut here. This means it's not responding. Oh, now it's, well, it's busy doing something. Ah. Wow. I'm trying to put it on that ISO. Oh. Looks cool, right? Oh, just kidding. Ah. Okay, something's happening on the desktop. So, yeah, I'm back. So here, guys, let's right click on this Windows icon on inside the virtual machine, this Windows icon. So once we right click, you should be seeing this option here, right? All these links here, right? Do we all see that? So let's go for the power options here, the top one, power options. Once we click the power options here, then this screen will open. So if you're on the laptop and you are not connected to the power source, then the balanced one is okay. But for the desktops, it's better to go for high performance here, uh, because high performance means it's going to drain your laptop battery sooner, a little faster. But it's also still okay. Basically, you need performance here, right? You need to start the operating system faster when you restart or start, basically. So high performance, and then click the change plan settings here. I hope everyone's following that. High performance and change plan settings. And now turn off the display. That actually does that thing that you have to put the username password again to gain access to the desktop. So we're going to slightly change it to never. Well, still performance is okay, because because even if the power is drained, you're gonna connect it to power source later. Yeah, high performance is better for the machines because we're gonna do so much configuration. You would love to have speed, right? Good performance there. So just go to high performance, go to change plan settings, and make sure that you change from 15 minutes to slightly never, right? It's not slight, it's just never. So must if never is there, go ahead and click save changes. Okay, so save changes is there and high performance, and if everyone's done with that, click the close button. And now the step finale, and that's the sysprep. Dun-dun-dun-dun. We can have a background music for that as well. Dun-dun-dun-dun. So if I go back to the forum, and there's the sysprep here, final step here, run sysprep. And guys, you can only do sysprep 3 times. This means that if you by mistake powered on the machine, then you have to shut it down with sysprep only, because if it's not shut down with sysprep, it's gonna when you create the clones, those clones will have the same SID. If you shut it down with sysprep, they will have unique SID, and that's what we want, unique SID in all the machines, right? So sysprep, let's go to that template machine, and we're gonna do a workaround that you, even if you by mistake powered it on, it's not gonna power on.
Why do you want it to power off?
Power off, because when you clone, it has to be powered off at that time. If it's powered on, you cannot create a clone out of that. And that's for the VMware Workstation specific software environment. VMware Workstation is made for test environments only. VMware Workstation is not used in production environments in companies. There you use its granddad, which is ESXi. So this is a hypervisor 2. This is called hypervisor 2. Hypervisor 2 are always installed on top of our operating system. Hypervisor 1 is installed on the bare metal, directly on the hardware. And this is just for test environment. So here you have to shut down the machine to create a clone. So guys, here we need to run the final task, which is sysprep. I hope you're understanding what we're doing. That's the main thing, right? It is going to make every machine unique, every clone unique. So what is the unique thing in every clone? The SID, the security identifier, has to be the unique number. Suppose it's A1, B1 for one machine, SID. If the other machine also has A1, B1 as the same security ID, then they will both be on the network and they cannot join the domain. The Active Directory will detect that, oh, it's a similar, same SID I see in both machines, I won't join you to the domain. So you cannot use that machine in the network, right? SID has to be different in all machines, yeah. Are you on the virtual machine here? And see this? I've just minimized it. So do you see Server Manager? You don't see Server Manager? So see this? Do you see this icon here? Oh yeah, click that. Once you click that icon, the Server Manager should be there, right? Is there? Perfect. Is there, right? So I see Server Manager. Do you see Server Manager? No. Okay. Oh, are you on the VMware Workstation? So you're there? No? Oh, still not? Yes, no. That's the second master G you got. So remove all the machines, right? Yeah, we practice a lot because this is where my basics and when you do complicated thing. So if you don't have a right yourself. So you see a local store here? Yeah, always go for this. Server manager, I see server manager there, button there, or just go for this one. So my screen is actually effective that my screen is like this right now. But there is some problem with the laptop. So if I go full screen, then you have to track the server manager over there, right? Always get rid of the server manager. And what is the machine name? These are the two areas. Navigation normally in the start is not easy, but after that, and of course with the scroll bars, you can also understand what's going on, right? But you're on the full screen. I'm not on the full screen, so I will make a full screen as a student, right? So that our machines are looking similar. So I'm gonna make it a full screen. So guys, that's a very good idea to make this button, to push this button. This will make a full screen of this machine, right? Do we all see that? Full screen here. So let's click that and it will just show full screen of this. Now it's similar, right? So we can go back to the, this screen by the other screen, smaller screen from this box, and we can go to the full screen from here. When you hover over that, it says enter full screen mode. So click that. I'm gonna click that now. So I would suggest that everyone should do that. So we will see the same screen and we should follow the same screen. Now we can go way down to right click here, this Windows icon. I hope everyone's able to see that. Right click here and then go for run and type sysprep. Go for run and type sysprep. SYSPREP. SYSPREP, right? SYSPREP, sysprep. Now press OK here. This we have to be careful, right? So if you by accident run it on your laptop, it's gonna destroy everything in your laptop, right? And your home machine, just make sure you're inside the virtual environment, not in your laptop, not in your desktop. So I told previous class as well that one student did that by mistake. He was thinking that he was, because your Windows 10 seems like the same thing, right? But he ran it on the actual laptop. His software, his Windows all got, corrupt. He could not run anything after that. So sysprep, let's press OK. So it better go for full screen, then it will only show your virtual environment. So that's a safe thing to do. Go for full screen. Yeah, it's going to be very safe then. Now that's the only screen you're seeing, the virtual machine screen. Okay guys, so is that folder open now, sysprep? And double click that. Sysprep there, this file, exe file, double click that. Once you double click that, you can see here, enter system out of the box experience. So it is going to be out of the box experience, just means that make it user friendly. So click the generalize. This will also make it more user friendly. And then the shutdown option is shut down, not reboot. So out of the box, generalize and shut down. If you have done all this, make sure that you've clicked the generalize option, right? And once that is exactly similar to this screen, go ahead and press OK. We're gonna shut it down forever now. Forever. Press OK. So we're going to go for a workaround because many students by mistake powered it on. And then they shut it down without sysprep. So then when they created clones, those clones had the same SID. So we're gonna avoid that by doing a workaround. We're gonna make its RAM down to 4 megabytes, MB, not GB. So if it is MB, what will happen? When it starts, it says, I don't have enough RAM to start. That's what we want. Don't start. So we're gonna put 4 megabyte RAM once it is shut down fully, right? So for home machines, when you're doing repeating the task at home, you have to create a separate template machine. So follow all the steps as soon as you get the video. Follow all the steps, and when you're creating a template machine, take screenshot of every step that you take. And these are your notes as well. I have a lot of those notes. I normally receive that, I see them, and I delete them, right? But I have to see that what are you working and what is the quality of your notes. So try to put some line there. Okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. You don't have to put that in every step, but after 5 or 6 steps, okay, we click this option because of this reason, right? What is the action, what is the reason, right? So well, it is shut down for me. Is it shut down for you? Done, right? Okay, shut down for everyone, right? So once it is shut down, the good thing to do here is now that let's change that memory from 8 GB to 4 MB. That's not enough memory to power it on. But this also means when you create clones, every clone will have the 4 MB RAM. Clones will not be able to start unless you change their RAM one by one to 8 GB back, right? So let's click that memory here, this one, memory. Let's click that memory and then go down, way down to this 4 MB. Yeah, it's not enough to breathe even for that virtual machine. So 4 MB, way down the last one, and press OK. Now even if you by accident start that, it will not start, or it will give you an error.
What are the processor? We're going to change the processor too?
Sorry?
Processor, we're going to change it too?
Processor, no, that's it. So just the RAM, and it's good enough to not power it on. So guys, if we have created the template machine, now what's the plan? If we track our progress on the diagram here, our plan is that we have done this 2016, shut it down, sys prep, it will give unique SID. That's just an explanation. So let's go for the 2 clones now. Let's create server 1 and server 2 here, and in server 1 we're going to be making sure that we have, okay, the first 3 tasks I think we will be able to do today. First 3 tasks here, and the 3 tasks here are activate for 180 days, then give static IP, and then rename to server 01 or server 02, right? So these are the major 3 steps.
Server 1, server 2, those are clone, right?
Yeah, so we're going to be creating clones, and these are steps for the clones. So guys, we're about to create a clone now. Now for creating a clone, we need to activate them for 180 days. Why do we have to activate? First of all, we don't have the key to put the license there, right? So we can have that key as well from the Microsoft Imagine. Now this is a trial version. It has to be activated for 180 days. If it gets expired, you know what will happen? If it shows expire, it will shut down every half an hour, right? If it shows expire, it will shut down every half an hour. So we're gonna activate it for it. In order to activate that, we must be connected to internet to activate that. So for that, we need to temporarily change its VMNet from VMNet 15 to VMNet 8 NAT. We have to change it to NAT temporarily only. What will NAT do? NAT? It will give internet connection. It will give internet connection. NAT will give internet connection, but it is temporarily, right? Yeah. So NAT will give internet connection. We will, as soon as we are connected to internet, it automatically downloads those files that will activate it for 180 days. So as soon as you connect the virtual machine to an internet, it will take 10 seconds, less or little more, to download those files, and at once above the clock, you know this clock here, above the clock for that virtual machine, you will see 180 days written there. So this means that those files got downloaded automatically, and they get all you need to do is connect that trial version to the virtual internet. As soon as it connects to internet, it will just simply show you 180 days after you refresh that. So after we see that 180 days is actually written there on the desktop, we're gonna change it back to VMnet 15. So temporarily change each clone to VMnet 8 NAT. Activate for 180 days. Then change it back to VMnet 15 where it was before, because we do not want to stay connected to internet. We just want to connect to internet to activate this machine. That's all. Once it's done, we do not need to stay connected to internet anymore. So we get that idea, right? So the first task is activate for 180 days both clones, then give static IP according to this diagram for both clones and rename to server 1. So the best way to do it, just concentrate on first clone. Let's complete all the tasks on the first clone, then we go for second clone and do the same task there. So first understand all the tasks in first clone, then we go for the second clone, right? So you're taking notes, that's good, but you can use your cell phone camera as well to take those screenshots for this diagram if you want. It's okay, both ways are okay. You can take notes, it's in the video anyway. When you're repeating that, you will see those anyway. It's in the video. And but suppose I'm going a little faster, or you fell behind for some reason because the PC is slow, so you can just check your photo there. Oh yeah, that was the diagram and he's on there. Yeah, I need to go there. Okay, got it. So sometimes, some students just take a picture of that, right? Anyway, so you can take a picture, it's okay. Otherwise, you can, if you're really good in writing very fast, you can do that too. Okay guys, we understand what we need to do. We need to create 2 clones, and then on each clone we need to do these 3 tasks. Activate for 100 days, give it static IP, rename to server 1 and 2, and restart. Then the 4th task, which is also mucho importante, and I know that's wrong Spanish, but anyway, it's muy importante, but it's mucho importante, right? So it's that we then take a snapshot of both machines. Take snapshot. So what is the difference between screenshot and snapshot? Yes, and snapshot is, yeah, so point in time backup of a whole virtual machine. We take a snapshot of a virtual machine so we could restore from that snapshot anything. Suppose you took a snapshot today, and after 6 months you want to go back to snapshot where there was just activation, static IP and rename, no application was installed, so it will go back to that state. So it just saves your state or freezes your state of configuration. So we're going to take a snapshot of both. So we're going to do it together. Don't miss any of those steps. Don't go ahead of me. If you're very confident and you know what you're doing, okay, but if you miss anything, the whole lab will be then disturbed for you. And I have to say, sit back, enjoy the show, because we will not have enough time to configure somebody's machine and wasting class time for that, right? So if it can be configured in maximum 5 minutes, we're going to do that. Otherwise, I'll have to request that. If the machine is taking longer time, then okay guys, minimize that. So let's go for our environment here. Now our environment, we have just installed and shut down the TemplateVM. The only purpose of TemplateVM is to simply create clones, and that's exactly what we're about to do now. Create clones.
So we are not changing the network adapter, net. That, but if you create the clone,
We'll have to do it one by one.
one by one.
Yeah. So we can actually do that here as well. Guys, did we start creating clone? Don't do that. You are on the template machine, right? This is template machine. Let's click that. So that's a good suggestion. So click the edit virtual machine settings. Click the edit virtual machine settings. What we're doing, we're temporarily, actually we're going to change here for VMnet 8, but later for each clone we're going to change it back to VMnet 15 later, right? So that's a good thing. No matter how many clones you create from here, they're all going to be initially on VMnet 8. So let's click the edit virtual machine on the template machine here. I hope we understand what we're doing, right? You can ask me that question again if you didn't get it. It's okay. Don't be shy, just ask. So network adapter, VMnet 15, we're gonna change it. It's temporary change, but we're gonna change it to this VMnet 8 NAT. I hope everyone's able to see that. VMnet 8 NAT. Once you click that, now as soon as the clone starts, they will be connected to internet right away. As soon as we do what we want to do with the internet, we're gonna change it back for each clone VMnet 15. For now, let's change it to VMnet 8. Every clone will initially have VMnet 8. This means they will all be initially connecting to internet right away, right? As soon as they start. So we've done that, and let's try to create those those clones now, and ignore what I'm doing now. So I just created that template last class, so I don't need that because I have the same thing again right here with the today's date. So I'm just going to delete from disk. Yes, done. Okay, so here, if you see on the left side the template, I hope everyone's seeing that. Right click like this and manage and clone. Okay, everyone's there? Anyone not there, let me know. You're there? Yeah. It's, you don't see that on the left side of the machine, this one? You see that, right? Or you don't see that? Okay, so let's click the clone, but be careful here now. Be careful here now. So I'm just gonna click the clone button here, clone, and click next. So the first screen is okay. Second screen also nothing to choose here. So next to the second screen as well. And third screen is clone type. So it is link clone or full clone. Now full clone is faster, link clone is slower. And full clone is a separate independent virtual machine. Link clone is linked to your template machine. Link clone is a link to your template. It uses the virtual disk of a template machine. It uses the memory of the template machine. So if you delete the template machine, the link clone will never start. It totally depends. So why would you use link clone? Wherever you have less space and less RAM, you use link clone. Wherever you have enough space, enough RAM, enough processing, you go for full clone. Full clone is faster, but it grows like crazy. Full clone grows bigger. So if you have a space concern, go for link clone. But you would always, if you have a SSD, I would suggest go for link clone. Why? Because link clone is slower, but SSD will boost its speed for you, right? So if you have SSD, you're also already okay. And full clones faster, but because of the space constraint, I would just always now go for link clone. But suppose you want to copy your all machines from one desktop or one laptop to another desktop or laptop, so you have to copy what? Always copy your template machine as well as the clone machine folders. If the template machine is not there and you copy the clone machine, what will happen? Clone will not start. It will say, where's the template machine? Because it's a link clone, it is linked to the template machine, right? We understand that, right? So let's go for link clone because you ultimately will face that space problem. In production environment, it's totally different. They don't even offer link clone. It's always just a full clone there, and it's always thick provision there, and it's always fast. We need performance there, right? So they invest with big disks and SSDs and everything. Okay guys, so here I'm gonna click the link clone here, keep it clicked. This means I need to always stay connected to template machine, right? So this is only important when you are copy pasting and moving the machine. Then only just make sure that you copy the template machine as well. Next, and once you're there, next here, so you can see that already your first name is written there, the course name is written there, 28 August is written there. So I'm gonna click on the top screen here, and you can see that I'm removing the whole information here, clone of Windows Server 2016. I'm removing that. but I'm keeping the first name, the 70-740, and the date today. I'm keeping that. So instead of the earlier information, I'm just gonna put server 01. Server 01. Now for those class desktops, if you're using those, it's a very important thing that you have your name, course name, and date there, because any machines without that will be deleted whenever there's a maintenance going on. So anyway, so this is server 01, and your all that information is there. So other thing is that we can just keep it C drive. If you have changed the name here, select the whole thing, because for the second link clone, server 2, we're just going to put the same thing, but we're just going to change the server 01 to server 202. Otherwise, the whole naming convention is the same, right? So do not change the location on the down here, the bottom one. So if you're done that, go ahead and click finish. Now it's going to take a very long time to create that clone, or not, or it's just like very long time, like 1 second. So anyway, that's it. Full clone takes a long time to get created because it's a totally separate independent machine. It doesn't take any time. So click close here. First clone got created, and well, in my case, I have other folders and other classes, so I'm just gonna drag it to the folder where this class machines are supposed to be. Now we can right click on the template machine again, and we're just creating another clone, right? So just like the first one. So right click on the template machine again, go to the manage again,
How many will you?
and clone. Huh?
It's not now or will you?
Oh, it's taking time. Did you click the link clone?
No, the full code.
You went for full clone. So yeah, it takes time.
You click the link.
Master G. So one Master G you received as well now. This means he was not paying attention.
I thought you use the full code.
Well, I said in the video also, you will see, I said link clone I'm selecting. One Master G given. Huh?
One master.
So Master G means respected teacher. That's it. It's a very nice thing to say, but it means that hey, please pay attention. So anyway, manage and clone the next one, right? So click clone, the war of the clones, right? Next, and the current state in the virtual machine, we're going to keep it the same default option. Next, of course, we're going for link clone because we need to save space, and we have SSD already, so it's okay. The speed will be okay. Next, and here, yeah, we just change the server to, although so I copied already, so I'm going to control V or paste that, and it's the same naming convention there, but now just change it to 2. 1 would be 2. The naming convention would remain the same, right? Is it clear to the backbenches there as well? Is very clear? Or should I make it bigger? Zoom. It's better to make bigger. Okay. So, oh, now it's okay? Oh. But I haven't made it bigger yet. Okay. Bigger is 200.
That one, the full clone.
This is bigger. Oh, this is okay. Yeah.
Use that one.
Well, welcome. And full, is it created already?
It's done. Like,
It's done, then it's okay.
it's okay.
You have enough space in your laptop?
Yeah.
Okay. Then second one, you can also create full clone, because the second full clone will take very less time.
Yeah.
But so second, since you create first as full clone, second also is good.
I did the second one.
Yeah. So go ahead and create the second full clone and click finish now. Let's click finish, and you know the naming convention here, right? Naming convention server 2,
The sub two.
and the same your first name and everything. Oh, you're using a laptop, you don't do anything. So click finish here. Once we click finish, it's also created here. So if the two clones are created, okay. Okay, let's power it on. Let's see what we can do till 2 o'clock. So I'm just gonna, so server 1, if I click the server 1 on top here, server 1 on top here, so I'm gonna power on, but it's not gonna power on. Why? We need to upgrade the memory. Exactly. So I wanted everyone to go through this, because at home when you're doing that, you might be scratching your head that what's going on here. So let's see that error here. I hope everyone's seeing this.
Yeah.
We're all seeing that, right? Why?
Because memory is not so much.
Memory is not sufficient. It's 4 megabyte. So we cannot change the memory if it is started. We have to shut it down, power off. So right click on server 1 here like this. Right click on server 1 like this. Go to power. Right click on server 1 because we need to power it off, right? So shut down guest. Have a habit of shutting it down because it gracefully shuts it down. Power off, it's like pulling a plug, right? So shut down guest. I hope everyone's there. Shut down guest. Right click. No, because it is already off. Oh, that's the second master key this means.
See this? That's one came out.
No, what happened? What's saying?
Power on. When I power on, this one came out.
No, what's the error?
The virtual machine has memory to boot.
Oh, it's saying in this way. Press OK. So it's a different way. Your VM workstation is which version? 14 or 12 or 10?
14, I think. The latest one.
Good. Perfect. So guys, here we need to change the memory. How do we change the memory? Go to edit virtual machine. Edit virtual machine. And how do we change the memory now? Yes. See this? We can go to 8 GB or 4 GB, right? So click the 8 GB only. You can drag it up, but better click that 8 GB. You're there, right? 8 GB. Like this. Once you click the 8 GB, now we're okay. We can power it on, right? 8 GB or 4 GB, right? So 8 GB and press close or OK. OK. So 8 GB and OK and power on. See, echo. Okay. Anyway, so power on. I have to watch too much TV with my kids. Always cartoon. So I have to see Kung Fu Panda nearly every day for last one year. So I feel like Kung Fu Panda now. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so well, yeah, same thing on 2. So I'm gonna go on 2 now. We don't have to start now. We know what to do. Go on 2, right? Click on 2. Just change the RAM to 8 GB here as well, and power on. So added virtual machines on server 2 as well. Change the RAM back up to 8 GB. Press OK and power on. So the main thing is we understand what's going on, right? You are following, but you're understanding and following, right? So without understanding, don't let the class go ahead. Stop me there, ask me again. Power on. So we are powering on these 2 machines here, and you know the practice makes everyone perfect. Practice makes practice makes a man perfect, and practice makes everyone perfect. So I'm going to keep on repeating that. Practice. There were so many students in previous courses who were total beginners. First time they were seeing all that, but in 1 or 2 months, you won't believe that they were beginners. They were so good in that. They were just practicing. That's the only difference, right? Repeat that lab at home, maybe 2 times even, and you will be like, click, you will know already what's going on, right? But if you don't practice, then you will, be thinking what's going on here then. So practice, repeat it again until you're familiar with the options, right? So that's why at least once you have to create those screenshots. At least once for every lab of this course and next courses throughout the year or 6 months or 8 months. Take screenshots of every lab. Repeat every lab. So certifications is a must in Canada. They go by the book. So the courses I've told you, we have a teacher-student subscription for examcollection.com. So it's $20 per year. So anyone wants to download any paper, any exam from there, you have to just pay me $20 for 1 year. Then you just email me the code 70-740 or 70-41, 70-742, and then I will just send you a PDF of that. I have the $300 software that converts that latest file to PDF. So I can send you any exam from there, but you have to. It is a teacher-student group only. It's $20 per year. So we made it very, very cheap. So every student could be able to do all the exams, right? So nearly all the students did all the 7 exams, must-have exams, and some went for 10 or 12 exams more. Well, up to 10 and 12 exams. Okay, one day, Monday or Sunday, it's gonna start, and it's terribly slow. Yeah, exactly. Yawn. We really need a yawn right now. It's like, it's boring, man.
Time to go, eh?
TTL, time to leave. Live, but we use it for leave as well. TTL, time to leave. Huh? TTT, bye? That's a new one. TTC. Oh yeah, TTC. Okay, so it's 15 minutes left, and maybe in 15 minutes it's gonna start. Okay, let's activate the machines and then go. We can do at least one task. If it is already there, just log in and yeah, next. It's next and log in at least, and just see if 180 days is written on the right bottom above the clock. Somebody is being called. Hey, why aren't you home? So, so there are phone calls at this time. And when you're coming home, bring the bananas and milk and this and this. The whole grocery list is there as well, ready for us. Okay. Exactly. Yeah, that's good. ISCAP order. They made text as well, right? WhatsApp as well. Oh, that's good. So it's oh, that's good. Well, in 4 or 5 days, it will get very busy. All kids back to school. Wow, this is bad for me. It's not starting. Oh, if you're already there, just log in. Go ahead and log in, right? And log in, and above the clock, right bottom above the clock, after 10 seconds of login, just wait for 10 seconds after you log in. And above the clock, 180 days should be showing there. Just refresh on the desktop. Ah, that's taking forever for me.
To allow your PC to be discovered to this yes.
Yes, if you see a blue bar, press yes.
Always yes.
Yeah. And if you see 180 days, if anyone sees 180 days already above the clock on the right bottom side, above the clock, if you see that, bye-bye. If you don't see that, stay here till 8 o'clock. Just kidding. Yeah. Oh, no, but it's, you have to wait 10 seconds and right click and refresh the desktop. You already shut down? Oh, no. Oh, so I'm going to show you how to see that. So I'm just going to put that next here for the time zone and then accept the license. And one day, Monday or Sunday, I'm going to be able to log in. My machines are terribly slow. What? Didn't I click you? Yes, you. Well, no, we're going to do everything together. So right now, what we are able to do together is just make sure that you put the password, the class password. I hope everyone just put the class password there and just log in. VMware tools, no, cancel. Yeah, the VMware tools are already there. It's just updating them, and that's kind of unnecessary. Okay, guys, so I'm finally reaching their login screen. That's like a turtle PC here, and it's just slow and steady. Slow and steady wastes the time. That's a new one. Instead of wins the race. Okay. Please wait for the local session manager. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm there. So what I need to show you is that once I log into that, I hope everyone's logged into that. You can just minimize everything and just see right above the clock and refresh the screen that if you are able to see 180 days written there. So if I log in here now, if you see the 180 days written there, you're good. Shut down the machine. Bye bye. If you don't see that 180 days, try it at least so we could start at the same place in next class as well on Thursday. So I'm gonna show you, and I'm logging in now. And one day, Monday or Sunday, it's gonna log in as well. Okay, it's still 1:47, so we have a lot of time. Full 13 minutes. Serious. Wow, this is bad. Better. So I'm just gonna go for server 2 and power it off. I don't need server 2 right now, so I could work on server 1 only. But if you have logged in server 2 and done that, it's good. If you haven't, it's we can do it together. So I'm just powering on because server 1 I just am interested in. I will just configure server 1 here, and I've shut down server 2 already. And whenever it starts again, wow, that's bad. This is not. So guys, if you see server manager loaded there, if you've logged in, and if you server manager, minimize the server manager. You know what? I have to just restart one more time, and then it's gonna work. So minimize server manager and right click on the desktop and refresh. Minimize server manager, right click on the desktop and refresh, and you should see on the right bottom. Okay, let me just show you here on the actual desktop here. So once you log in, you see the desktop, right? Nice window here, right? So right click and refresh. That's it. Right click and refresh. Right click and refresh, because it's already connected to internet. Right click and refresh on the desktop. So once you go way down here, refresh. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Screen is back with black. Oh, that. So my screen was also black. I had to restart once. So if it is black for longer time, restart. Quickly restart guest. How do you restart? If it is the screen is not showing anything like this, my screen is like this, right? So right click like this, power and restart guest like this. But you have to restart and just see the 180 days. Now I'm gonna visit your machines because my machine is restarting. So I'm gonna watch your machine. Oh, you're good. 180 days is showing there. Perfect. So this means bye bye. Minimize that. So manager. Top right. No. Yeah, and there's an inside menu. Yeah. And right click and refresh. Oh. Okay. So you see that? See the view filter? No. There is. This one is showing yellow triangle, right? So you don't have it. So right click here. And settings. Click the repeated. Yeah. And it has your physical desktop has internet, but this machine does not have it. Okay, so because it's correct, okay, we're gonna temporarily do that with the bridge option. If that doesn't work, sometimes bridge works. Give it to bridge. That's okay. And it's changing now. It's gonna go red and then get better. You got it temporary. Yes, that's temporary, right?
If she did that time, I think no one. That's why.
No, she had correct information. Correct information, but still no. So then there's a workaround. Now right click and refresh here because it's connected to internet. So yeah. So keep doing that, and after 10 seconds, 20 seconds, it's going to go. Oh, it's still. Did you restart? Right click. And restart. Yeah, now let it restart. Just like I did a restart, and now it's showing me. Yeah.
So to restart.
You can start. Perfect. Yours is perfect. Yours is. Oh, you don't need that. You have a key.
Then restart, right?
Yeah. And settings. So if you see 180 days, shut down. Bye bye.
Restart. Right click. Go to power. So then the restart now. Yeah. It doesn't. I didn't work that time. Now it's working. अभी रिफ्रेश हुआ रिफ्रेश के बाद अभी राइट क्लिक कर पावर ऑफ में जाके रीस्टार्ट
Yeah, you got it. You know what to do. Change it to bridge to ready. Well, server 2, yes, it's okay. Yes, next one sit on the login screen. Either if you have time, you can do the activation for server 2, otherwise shut down.
Okay, so I did the bridge for the server 2 as well, and then I did refresh for the
That's it. If you see 180 days,
so I quick refresh and that's it.
refresh, but 180 days should show there, right? So go ahead and refresh.
I did that.
Couple of times more. Yeah, there you go. 180 days is showing there. Is it written? That's it.
That's what I'm looking for.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's it. Perfect. So shut down both machines and we can go. Yeah. Oh, let me check mines as well.
No, refresh, then restart again. Refresh. Oh, okay. Refresh what then? Sorry, bye bye. Now shut down the gas, right? Power off.
Those who see 180 days, you can go home. Others are just stuck here now. Okay, I see 180 days here. So what I want you to make sure that you have is on the board now that on the right side you see 180 days. Then shut down and we can go. Yeah. And sign up. Yeah. Yeah, you have that connection now. So oh, you got it. So you can shut down both machines, and we see on Thursday.
See you Thursday. No, you have no class on Monday.
And release. Yeah, now. Okay, guys. So you sent a Gmail to me. Perfect.
For this Thursday,
Mhm.
I will be here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, brother.
Sure.
It conflicts with the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I have a very bad memory, so can you email me that as well?
Oh, sure.
Perfect. Sure. I'll send you the video. Please do follow the video because on top of this, we're building the whole environment.
Yes.
So you have to be there in third class. That has to be done already.
Okay, that's great.
So you can come on any other days and follow the video and put those conclusions there for the third class, right?
So, yeah, these classes are Tuesdays and Thursdays, so
Yeah.
next Tuesday then.
Thank you, sir. Oh, what is thank you in French?
That's
Maxi. Maxi. All right, thank you, sir. All right, I'll be learning some French. Maxi.
But this only Corona I have to shut down. Next one too.
Next one also shut down everything because both have 180 days showing now, right? That's what we wanted. So shut down both. Shut down everything actually we were going home, right? So shut down all. But today you have to do the same template machine again and take a screenshots of all those, right? What we did today. So just have another folder, just name them test machine 1, test template, test server 1, test server 2. Just add the name test in front of that, before that, right?
Same machine.
Yeah. And send the, so create template machine like this from the start, separate, and then name it test. Just start the name with test. So it will be 3 separate machine, other than 3 class machines, 3 test machines, home machines.
So it's a copy for what we do one by one step.
Copy of?
Whatever you did today.
Yeah, so the video will be there. So I'll be sharing the video, you can follow the video.
Okay. We have to get one virtual machine, one.
So you have to do exactly what we did today. Exactly. So today we had, no, the previous machine we can delete those, that. From today, consider today as the first day. Yeah. So today we created 1 template machine and 2 clones, that's it, right? So whatever we did today, exactly same in a test lab at home. So it will be your homework, right? So just wait for the video for today and
One scrap out.
Hmm?
One previous machine.
Yeah.
As a scrap it.
yeah, sysprep it, sysprep it as, and then yes,
And two clone.
yeah. So what we did today, exact same step, totally from the scratch again.
System is your like a virtual machine make a unique
Yes.
separate.
So it's for the golden image normally. So golden image is always the image from which you create copies, hundreds of thousands of copies there. So that first image has to have sysprep done on that.
What are the clone? We are not going to download the clone in the system, right? We don't need it.
No, on clones we don't need sysprep. If we run sysprep only once
Just once.
on that main template machine or golden machine.
I did one mistake. It's called name gold. What do
Sorry?
you say? Gold.
Golden image. It is also called golden image.
Gold image. Template.
Yeah, template or golden image, same thing.
From 4 MB to I think the 8. No didn't edit. Direct edit.
No, same thing. Yeah, same thing.